Right, ladies and gentlemen, you've waited a long time for this. Yes, you have. I don't even know what number show this is. You'll figure it out. Josh will figure it out. Welcome to Midnight Metal, you imagination connoisseurs. After a little bit of technical difficulties where I had to reload my entire operating system into my computer, who knows what happened when I was gone from this afternoon show to tonight? No man can say, but we're here for Midnight Metal, and you know what happens on Midnight Metal. We ask all of you, are you feeling metal tonight? Are you feeling fucking metal? Ah! Dave, are you feeling metal? Dave Parker, ladies and gentlemen. He's back from the grave and ready to party.
Yo, what's up, guys? I'm back in Hell A. I'm here. Hell A.
In the heat of the day, every time you go away, I have to piece my life together, Dave.
In Hell A?
Every time you're away in the heat of the day. I wonder why I live alone here. I wonder why we...
I don't wonder why.
You don't?
I don't wonder why you're living alone.
You don't?
But you're not. You have
I don't.
Puppy.
I have 4 dogs, man.
You have pups.
I do. I have puppers.
Yeah.
Super pups. But you're back in town. Where have you been, Dave?
I was in Malta, which is near Sicily. It's a little island just right in the middle of the Mediterranean, man. Was there for 6 weeks. It was fucking great. It was amazing. You know, I think I've just initially because of you, credit to you for instilling this into me. I've realized I'm a bit of a nomad. I really like going away.
Me too.
And experiencing new cultures and new places. And
I got you to get a passport. Remember that.
You did. And then it just progressed from there. So it's been New Zealand. It's been Bulgaria. It's been Italy. It's been Malta. Yeah, I mean, there's more places to go and see, but yeah, no, it was a great time. I was working on a new film that Adam Green, the director of Frozen and the Hatchet series, was doing, and I'm his editor on it, it was just, I mean, as you know, it's so rare to be able to get to go as the editor while they're shooting on these low budget films.
But it's beneficial for the film itself.
It absolutely was.
Were you on set? Were you on set acting as your own DIT?
No, I was not. They had a DIT. So I was in the edit bay a lot of the time, though I did go on set several days. I did a little second unit stuff for them and everything else because I was the one who was going, hey, we really need an insert of this and this and this. And I had to make sure it's like, okay, you use your right hand, make sure that the hand has got the ring on it and the this and that and the bracelets and all that shit. So we'll match and I mean, fun stuff like here, grab the cheese. I mean, you know that phrase, Rob. You know what that means. So I was doing stuff like that. But and then assembling the movie and cutting it together. I had an amazing time. It was really great too because. The director of photography, Will Barrett, Robert Pendergraph, who was in charge of the special effects, the makeup and the stuff that needed to be done on set. Craig Borden, who was the first AD, Adam, myself, and Aiden, who was the director's assistant. We all hung out at the same hotel. So every night we would go out to dinners. We would have dinners together and everything. So it was a very social thing. And any place over in Europe and everything, they know how to live. They aren't living to work.
Right.
They're working to live. So they know how to live. And it was a great time. Kelly Hamilton was the producer. She was fantastic. It was it was just a really, really positive, really good experience. So yeah, man, I'm really excited about it. And then we, next week we jump back into editorial and we start the process of finishing off the movie. So
how long do you think you have to go left to go for editorial?
At least 12 weeks.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, we have a good healthy schedule and it's all doable. So yeah, and then we saw pretty great stuff while we were there. We explored. I told you last time that I went to the pub, which was in Valletta, Malta, which is where Oliver Reed drank himself to death.
Yep, when he's on Gladiator.
And they sell T-shirts with everything he drank there that day.
Did you get one?
Oh, I sure did.
Oh,
I sure did. Absolutely got one. And then I went one weekend. Robert and I went, and we went to what's known as Sweet Haven, which is where they shot Robert Altman's Popeye in this cove, and they built, and they're it's a permanent structure. The village is a permanent structure in Malta, and it's a tourist thing now, where they have all the buildings and the sets from the main town area where they shot Popeye. So that was really cool to check out. And then it was just getting, as we do on our times off, when we have time off and everything, we just go and explore. We just find cool little places.
That's great. Well, when that's one of the great things about traveling. Whenever I travel somewhere, I like to, like if I'm staying in a hotel somewhere, I like to go to the concierge and go, "Where's a place that you hang out that no tourists go? Like, where's a cool bar?"
I mean, we were close to a lot of those places. I mean, everything was sort of walking distance. It's a small island anyway.
Yeah.
But like right down the street from us was a place called the Parrot Bar. That was a funky little place. I found the premier comic shop in Malta called Malta Comics, which was pretty wild. They had some great stuff there. A lot of a lot of omnibuses and stuff that you have now that are like really out of print here, you can get there.
Oh, I bet that. Yeah, there's probably some stuff I would have picked up too.
And they were just the cover price.
Yeah, of course.
Just the American cover price. So that was cool. So again, just a really. Of
course, then you have to bring omnibuses back in your luggage.
Which is why I didn't get them, because they were just too big. Though I did get one thing. I got. I'd go grab it, but I don't want to stay off camera that long and let you talk. So.
Oh, really?
I did find. I found this cool little record shop called Solo Records there, and they also had books, and they had this sort of coffee table book, this oversized coffee table book, all about Dario Argento, and it was from the Turin Museum, because they had a year-long Argento exhibit there.
Wow,
so
that's cool.
Half the book is in Italian, the other side is English, and it's filled with photos that I've never seen before, and then photos of the exhibit and everything like that. But it's a big, thick book. It was crazy. So I did get that, and I did lug that back.
Yeah.
But with the exception of a few souvenirs, because I didn't want to have to carry a bunch of shit, I didn't get too much. But the experience was really good, and that was really it was really sad to leave. I really didn't, it was like fly back, get back to LA, and you're in 2-hour traffic to get home from LAX, and it was just what am I doing here? And never mind the fact that you and I are facing a real. And so many people that we know are facing this really kind of crazy crisis right now, where it's like there's no work here. It's like I had to fly halfway across the world to work, and it's just like what? And then you come back, and then it's 2 hours in traffic. It's LA. LA has really lost a lot of the sheen and luster to it. I gotta say, since I've been back, I'm like. I don't really. There's not much that I like, besides people that I could say that I missed.
No,
I even did the show. I even did the show from there, so it's not like I missed out the show.
Everything that we liked so much of LA is just gone, and Private Island, where I made True Noir is gone. And the house that I've been working out of, their Victorian, the audio facility is getting demolished, and they're going to build an apartment building there, and. Mike and Robert
because that's what we need. We need more.
Yeah, Mike and Robert are moving 3 hours north past Solvang. They're moving to Santa Maria, and it's like what is the reason to stay here? I mean, to be honest, I kind of want to move back home to Mercer Island, although I could never afford to live there. I was looking for. If there's a few houses I'd like to buy, but one's $12 million and one's $10 million. So that's a little out of my price range, Dave.
You'll get that in super chats tonight. I mean,
yeah, why not? There's a few super chats already.
Yeah, and I want to explain a couple things. What I explained to them, and you can negate this and stuff like that. But especially since tonight's show is a little bit of a dealer's choice, and that anyone can suggest something to talk about before we play this game that I came up with.
Yeah, whatever that is. I'm a little scared, Dave, to be honest.
It's fun.
Do I have to take off my clothes?
No, God, no. If anything, you'll have to put some more on.
Well, okay.
But I said just to keep it, because it's very hard when we're doing the show for me to constantly look over at the chat as much as I like to, and I try to, that the best way to suggest a topic for us to talk about or something to talk about is to put them in a super chat. It doesn't have to be an expensive one, but it'd probably be better that way to get through them that way.
Yeah, well, there's a few. It's good to see a few of our regulars.
We have a lot of great people here.
Well, a few of the regulars that we haven't seen for a while, like Mario Lopez, all the way from Portugal, is here.
Oh, that's so awesome.
He asked the question, what is the worst trilogy ending of all time, Return of the Jedi or Alien 3? I don't know if I could really consider those. The idea of a trilogy, first of all, I would say that if you have like three movies that are of a piece, like the Man with No Name trilogy, those build. Sergio Leone directed all three, and they kind of build the idea. They build, one builds on the next, that builds on the next. That's a trilogy to me. But I don't know if I would consider the Alien movies a trilogy. Somehow we just lost your sound.
Really?
Oh, there. Now you're back.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you now.
That's weird. I don't know what that was. Sorry. I think you can make the argument that those two can be considered, if you take just those two trilogies as like, here's the beginning, here's the story, and it finished. Everything else became sort of afterwards, that it expanded it. But if we just sort of look at those two as the case, as a trilogy, just the same way Mad Max was maybe considered a trilogy for a long time.
You went out of sync. It's weird. Something happened. Something. There was a glitch.
It's not on my end, man.
It is, though. I'll see what it is. I'll see what I don't know. It's been maybe. I fixed everything. I fixed it all. So I mean, the funny thing about Alien 3 is I really like the call it the assembly cut. I like it. I think it's actually pretty good. It's just not. It's after you've seen Aliens, it's such a betrayal of that movie.
I mean, my vote would be that the worst of those two. And I know how you.
Hang on a second, Dave. I'm gonna disconnect you for a second and bring you back because I don't know what there was some weird glitch. Disconnect. No, I'm gonna reconnect. Okay, maybe that'll put you back. But I mean, and Return of the Jedi, while I find Return of the Jedi incredibly a disappointing movie, especially in relation to Star Wars and Empire, I still think it's a satisfactory conclusion to Luke Skywalker's story.
I agree.
And
Faders.
Yeah, and I think and I think that works.
Fixed now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, there was just some weird glitch. And then Blackjack Hooligan. First of all, I didn't give you an answer.
Well, let's talk about the best trilogy.
You mean
the Porky's trilogy?
Or the Emmanuel trilogy of Emmanuel. See, Emmanuel 3 is a disappointment. Emmanuel 2 is clearly the best of the trilogy. And that's the original Sylvia Crystal Emmanuel movies.
See, Porky's goes from 1 to 3 to 2 because there's no Porky in 2. So it's kind of
right. Well, it's not like Smokey and the Bandit 3. Smokey is the bandit.
They said my volume is still low. Is this helping my volume?
Put it up a little bit more.
Better?
Yeah, it's better.
Better? Okay. I'll just bring the mic closer too. Okay.
But yeah, it's
anytime I can bring Porky's into
the problem with movie trilogies is they're never conceived of as trilogies because they don't know if they're going to be successful. Like the Lord of the Rings movies were conceived of as a trilogy.
Yeah,
shot all at the same time, but they. I mean, I'm really curious to see what these Beatles movies are going to be like.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either, but they're being shot all at the same time, and it's going to be an interesting.
Not a trilogy.
It's a quadrilogy.
It's a quadrilogy.
Yeah. Or if you leave Ringo's movie out of it, it's a trilogy. I know. I'm just making bad Ringo jokes. But it's an interesting question. I mean, trilogies there aren't very many good ones.
New Wave Hookers, good trilogy.
Well, there you go. By the way, can somebody help me get Cafe Flesh on disc?
You can't get it?
Dude, it's impossible to find. It came out in October. I missed it. I mean, I'm on a that's not really softcore, but I like that. I like that movie.
I mean, you snooze, you lose, I guess.
I didn't know it was out.
Pea of snow.
I mean, I'm telling you. Blackjack Hooligan wants to know our thoughts on Sergio Corbucci and The Great Silence. I own The Great Silence.
I've never seen The Great Silence. I like Sergio.
It's a Western. It's pretty brutal. And it had a number of endings. And on the Eureka put it out on disc. I mean, I don't know if anyone else has, but I have the Eureka Masters of Cinema version. It's got 2 endings on it. 3 if you include. It's got 2 alternate endings. Klaus Kinski. You know Klaus Kinski was in a bunch of Westerns?
Yes, I did.
I like The Great. There's a documentary on that disc about Klaus Kinski's Westerns.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I like The Great Silence. I like spaghetti Westerns.
I do too. And I like Sergio Corbucci.
Yeah, I do too.
I think a lot more people became aware of him because of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah. Wasn't Inglorious, isn't he name checked in Inglorious Bastards? Maybe not.
I
Along with what's his face? But yeah, I mean basically Rick Dalton worked for Sergio
No, he did. He did.
Yeah, he went to work for Sergio Corbucci.
He did what? Operation Crime Zone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
yeah,
that was cool. What was another?
What was the director that, in Eli Roth, and they're talking about, was that Corbucci? And when they were in Inglourious Bastards and they're being introduced.
Probably.
I forget. Was it? I don't remember.
Because who did Inglourious Bastards, the original? Who directed that? Was that Corbucci?
I thought it was. Now I'm drawing a blank on this
or was that Enzo Castellari?
I think it was Castellari. Hang on.
Okay. Because then it would make sense if he name checked the original director in that movie.
Now I have to know.
I've only seen Inglourious Bastards once.
Tarantino's, yeah, it's Castellari.
Yeah, okay. So that would be my guess that he was the one name checked.
Yeah, maybe it was Corbucci. I don't remember. Silly Goose says, "Keep it metal and keep it heavy."
Well, we're getting older, so we're definitely keeping it heavy.
We're keeping it heavy, baby. Now I got to work it out. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. You and I.
With those 15-pound weights, man. Tom Jr. Jackson says, book to movie adaptations. Are there too many? Or is Hollywood getting lazy? You know what? I read somebody... No, book adaptations are a foundational part of movie making.
I think if anything, there's not enough of them now.
Yeah, there's no... I mean, there's books where... Kubrick basically only adapted books. I mean, 2001 wasn't an adaptation. They created the novel as they made the movie, but, he made... A lot of his work came from books.
Yep. I think more books should be made.
Well, because you've got a sound. Good books you have a sound story.
Yeah.
Amazon, for Amazon's presentation at CinemaCon, not only was Project Hail Mary one of the movies they showed, but also I'm a huge fan of Don Winslow, the noir, California noir writer, and they adapted his novella Broken into Crime 101 that looks incredible. That stars Chris Hemsworth. It looks amazing.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, the Amazon panel was really impressive.
I have a friend who is an author, and he's got an adaptation of his book coming into theaters, I think in May.
Really?
Yeah. Called Clown in a Cornfield. Wow,
is his book called that too?
Yep.
Clown in a Cornfield.
and it was directed by the guy who did Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The trailer's really good.
All right. I'll go to that.
It looks like a lot of fun. Yeah. Rob, still overpowering audio. I don't know. Maybe turn your...
Oh, you know what? That could be very correct because I did not... Wow, they've changed this, everything has changed. You know, I forgot to change my sound settings, so I will do that. I apologize. I have to find where the sound disappeared. They changed. Oh, here it is. Input, output. Well, no, my sound's...
riveting.
There you go. My sound's where it's supposed to be.
There we go. All right, guys.
Dude, I've been sick for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks.
That's not good.
2 weeks. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Can't help it. So this is a scintillating show, Dave. We're not being very metal tonight.
I know. What else, guys? Do you guys have any? Oh, Major Chai Chai had a good topic though. You'll have to remind me what it is. It's movies that were thinly veiled episodes of the Twilight Zone.
Well, there was actually a movie that was a readaptation of Button. Richard Kelly's Button was originally as The Box, right? It was called The Box. It was originally adapted for the 80s Twilight Zone.
There was that. You could definitely say Little Girl Lost is Poltergeist.
Yep, you could say that.
Definitely a lot of it was Poltergeist.
Yes.
I don't know which other ones. I was like, I am not sure. But you might know more.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of thinly. I mean, there's a lot. I think The Sixth Sense. I mean, it wasn't a specific episode, but that could very well have been a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah.
I mean,
Soldier was in Outer Limits.
That was Outer Limits.
That was Outer Limits. Okay.
That's a good question, though. I mean, the Twilight Zone is so influential in terms of. I'm surprised that not as many people know it anymore. Like when I was a kid, it was every kid had a favorite Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah, you're old.
Still. But the Twilight Zone is, they just don't watch the good stuff. It's black and white.
Miracle. This Tom Jr. Jackson said Miracle Mile was supposed to be a Twilight Zone episode. Was it like an old, one of the 80s ones?
No, probably mid 80s Twilight Zone episode. That could be.
Interesting.
Tom Jr. Jackson says he's been reading Three Bags Full, and it's a weird and very cool book. I can't wait to see this made into a movie. So what he's referring to, Amazon has made Three Bags Full into a movie, and it's literally about sheep, and their shepherd, played by Hugh Jackman, he's died, and the sheep have to solve his murder. And all they showed us was this behind-the-scenes montage, but they didn't tell you in the trailer that the sheep are anthropomorphized, and they talk, and they had all these people like Patrick Stewart and Emma Thompson, and people are like, what is this? So I looked into it, and I'm like, oh, my God. And Craig Mazin wrote it. Craig, The Last of Us Mazin.
Oh, that's crazy. It's crazy that in this day and age, they actually made that into a movie.
I know. I bet it's going to be great. By the way, Oscar Herrera asks, what modern metal bands do you listen to?
Oh, we missed one before it, though, from Mario Lopez.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, it sucks that money is an issue. Fury Road and Furiosa deserved a third movie. I watched those two movies together, and it's such a great experience. I love both of those movies.
Yeah, do you watch Furiosa first? Because you should.
Yeah, so yes. Yeah, you can.
What modern metal bands do I listen to? Well, Ghost just put out a new single with their newest Papa Emeritus, and that's pretty good.
Oscar Herrera has Sleep Token, Eminence, and Thornhill in his rotation right now.
Interesting. I'm listening to Bloodywood. This band from India has a new album out as well. That's what I'm listening to right now currently. Are those? I enjoy those quite a bit.
I don't listen to metal anymore.
I know. It hurts your ears.
I find myself listening to soundtracks. You know, I go back and I've been listening to soundtracks again. I've sort of rediscovered my soundtrack CD collection.
That's nice.
Yeah, I have a lot. Not as many as like Jeff Bond or Dan Schweiger, but
Well, I mean, I think they have every soundtrack ever released.
they do. But you know what score I've been listening to a lot is Christopher Young's original Hellraiser score.
It's fantastic, though. Arguably, his Hellraiser 2 score is better.
Yeah, I have them both.
Yeah,
But that I miss that lush symphonic score. It's wild that Hellraiser was allowed to have that score.
especially on that budget, it was great. Have you listened to? Did you listen to the new Hellraiser score?
From the new movie.
Yeah, by Love It.
Yeah.
It's the score's great.
It is great.
It's got so many.
I was like, I thought you were thinking about a new. Is there a new Hellraiser?
No,
Sorry.
not yet. But that one is coming out in 4K.
Yeah,
from Germany.
I know.
It's a pretty cool movie. I thought
I liked it.
I thought they did a really good job.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
Considering and not wiping away everything that was done.
No.
From the past. So
Yeah.
Silly Goose says, "Come on, fellas, it's Midnight Metal. Let's hear your favorite heaviest metal albums." Oh,
that's a good question.
Heaviest metal albums.
The thing is, I mean, if you said like heaviest, Dieter would be here, and he'd probably,
Behemoth would definitely be up there. I just don't remember what the album's called.
How about Queensryche Operation Mindcrime?
Not the heaviest.
Well, it's not the heavy, but I love that album.
Not the heaviest.
I love that album.
British Steel, pretty damn heavy. Judas Priest, Motorhead. I mean, pick any Motorhead album.
Yeah,
that's pretty heavy as far as I'm concerned.
Blackjack Hooligan asks about Queens of the Stone Age. I like Queens of the Stone Age.
They're good. They're good. I'm not huge into them, but they're good. Scores. Joshua Gonzalez says Fabio Frizzi's horror scores are fun to listen to. They are. And I'm very excited because today I finally got my notification that my Beyond set had shipped.
Mine has not.
And I did get a little preview thanks to our friend Rob G this week of looking at the Beyond in 4K.
Did he get his?
He did. And it's stunning. It's pretty wild though. For people who are fans of the Beyond, the composer's cut is very different. It still is the Beyond, but it doesn't. It's a little jazzier.
Yeah,
a little more rocky, a little bit. And I don't know how. I guess I'm a purist when it comes to that movie, and I want my Beyond to be the Beyond. So thank God.
Well, I can't wait to get that box set. I can't wait. That and
it's beautifully put together.
Yeah, that and the From Beyond box set. Or pardon me, the Reanimator box set. I mean, From Beyond.
The Reanimator. I don't need Reanimator again.
Yeah, but I had to get that box set.
Yeah, maybe 4K. Probably be worth it. Be worth it. Yeah, let's see. What are they saying? Someone says that Queensryche is not heavy. I think Operation Mindcrime's
pretty heavy.
It's melodic. It's operatic.
Well, it also depends. It depends. Like, are you going to listen to Slayer?
Slayer.
Speed metal.
Slayer's pretty heavy.
It is pretty heavy.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't enjoy. Like, I like metal that I can rock out to, as opposed to something like Slayer. Like, look, I think. Yeah, but I don't enjoy Slayer. It's an assault.
I enjoy Slayer. Mastodon. You know what a great Mastodon album is? Terrible movie, but their soundtrack to Jonah Hex is pretty great.
It is pretty great, come to think of it. I have that score.
It's a terrible movie.
It's a terrible movie.
But not as bad as Kraven the Hunter, which I somehow got through this week somehow.
Yeah.
I'm not better for it. That's
what a disappointment. Total disappointment.
I couldn't even be disappointed because I wasn't anticipating it. It's like I can't be disappointed by Madam Web because I didn't care. Morbius, I was more disappointed with because I was just like, oh, but at least they sort of made him look like Morbius. So
Yeah, but
give
they
them
made a
that.
vampire movie and they were scared of making it a vampire movie.
Well, it's it, this whole Sony expanded Spider-Verse thing, with the exception of the Venom films. And I on the plane flying to Malta, I finally saw Venom 3. I was like, I mean, again, it's all due to Tom Hardy and doing the Venom voice and everything, that there's some enjoyment to it. But I mean, ultimately, it's like I know they venomized a horse. That's about all I can really remember about the movie, though. I can't tell you who the villain was. I know there are things from space coming after him and shit like that, but it was just like, all right. I think they're smart to like end it there as far as that trilogy goes.
They really killed they killed those movies.
But again, I don't know what the in that here's an interesting in that Spider-Verse. Is there one like villain or something that really stands out that could support its own film? Really?
Venom really pretty much is the only one.
Yeah, because it's like, oh well, what about the Black Cat? It's like holding a whole movie on her. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. Not that I wouldn't mind. I would love to see her in.
I think she's going to be in Spider-Man 4. Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Will she be as Black Cat or just?
I think she's going to be. I think they're going to have Black Cat. They have a female foil.
Okay.
Major Chai Chai says, I saw the X post about Master and Commander, and the article asking why men talk so much about Master and Commander. Question should be, why don't more women talk about it? The men portrayed are at their best and most daring. I mean, you know what's so interesting? I think that men and women traditionally we just like different things.
But I think the thing is too, it's like, on the surface, and because it's not marketed. I maybe I'm speaking out of turn here. It's not marketed towards women, but I think if they actually watched it, they go, "Oh, that's a really good movie." But again, who are they relating to in that movie? Who do they put themselves in? It's like, it's easy for us to put ourselves in the shoes of who would we be on that ship.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe because there aren't any women in the movie, from what I remember.
No, there are not.
So it's like, unless you consider the vessel the grand dame of the movie.
Well, everyone knows that the hottest women in all of the hottest woman in all of cinema is the Refit Enterprise from Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
You are in time out now. You can't mention those words.
Everyone knows that.
I know.
Then comes Grace Kelly in Rear Window, and then comes Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct.
You're delusional, but that's okay, Rob. You shouldn't have said those words. That's bad on you.
It's true. It's true. But no, I think it's really, men and women. It's such a weird thing that we want to move away from the differences in the sexes, which is bizarre in this modern age. People want to say, oh, there's a spectrum, a gender spectrum, and all this, and it's like, well, not really, not for the majority of the population. So. Right. And when it comes down to that, you when you're talking about mass market storytelling, and you're appealing, like for instance, I like romantic comedies. If there are certain like I watch The Notebook, and I understand why it's a favorite amongst women, but it's not my favorite. Like I like a romantic comedy like Tootsie.
Yeah,
which is a great, because it's also about
comedy.
Yeah, it's a great comedy, but it's about many different things. It's about the entertainment business. It's about gender roles. It's about a man stealthily falling in love with a woman who doesn't know he's really a man. There's all kinds of really interesting things going on in that.
Speaking of Hollywood, what's a great show that I've watched is The Studio.
Dude,
I've been watching that. That's the second episode, The Oner, is one of the really great episodes.
Have you caught up? Have you watched all 4?
I believe I've watched 3. I don't know if the 4th one just dropped. I haven't watched that yet, but I will by tomorrow. And we're gonna have guests on that you're going to bring on pretty soon.
Really?
And it's gonna be exciting. Yeah.
There's
Rob
one waiting.
Well, we should bring him on. Rob didn't even know who it was going to be.
I know who it is now.
Now you do.
Wow.
It's
my long lost son.
Rob's got hard eyes.
Wow, I've got to
talk about a great movie that came out.
Did you see that?
Yeah, go check out Hard Eyes, guys. Speaking of romantic comedies and
look who it is. My long lost. Hang on it. I've got to.
The prodigal son returns.
The prodigal. I've got to do some work here, and I got to get people put in. I'm going to give Circle Gets the Square. I'm going to put this very esteemed gentleman.
I mean, Taylor should be the center square.
He is the center square. Wow, I haven't seen this gentleman in quite a while. Now we're getting some crazy connection issues. It's okay though. Don't worry.
We'll make it work.
Hang on, I'm gonna make it work. How have you been? Hang on.
Oh, there we go.
What's that?
No, I was looking at the feed and we were freezing.
Yeah, it was.
You're so cool.
It's true. Hang on, I've got to do this live. I wasn't expecting more guests.
I know, and you got one more coming too.
I know, but that's going to be even harder.
You can do it, Rob.
I can do it. Okay, hold on a second, Dave, because I have to put you in here too. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a man who's become near and dear to many of the horror crowd. He has been interviewing a lot of very interesting filmmakers of late, and very proud of him.
He's kind of like his likes and the movies that he's curating and stuff like that, which this is not a slight in any way. Kind of like Dieter when you call him the trash bin of movies and stuff like that.
Jeez, Dave, that's a great way to start. Great way to introduce this man.
Hey, I told you we're gonna.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome Taylor Gonzalez to Midnight Metal.
Oh, what is up?
What is going on here? Let's put you guys so you can see the live feed. That's what we're now seeing.
Oh, there we go.
Lit.
Are you lit?
Actually,
he's getting it. He was supposed to be on at 9:30.
I've been drinking my vodka pineapple since 9:30. So
I know why you're drinking a vodka pineapple. You don't fool me.
Courage.
Get a little pineapple juice in you. I get it. I see you. I see you.
Mm-hmm. How's it going, guys? Good to see you both.
How's it going with you? How have you been?
Good. This past 2 weeks has been the busiest 2 weeks of my life. So it's been pretty crazy.
No, what do you?
Yeah, you had a buddy of mine on your show this past week.
Oh, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Who you have? Jeffrey Reddick.
Jeffrey Reddick.
Yeah, Jeffrey Reddick,
the creator of the Final By the way, the Final Destination Bloodlines clip that they showed at CinemaCon was amazing. It was amazing, and they said that doesn't even scratch the surface. That movie goes straight to number one with the bullet.
Yeah. And it's all connected to the whole series.
Yeah, it's great.
At least so they say. Look at us, all with glasses on.
I know. I was just thinking that too.
A bunch of four eyes. Jesus Christ!
Come on, dude. That's what happens. Everything else works except my eyes.
Yep,
I'll take it. I'll take it. No, it's never going away. Never going away. By the way, Castle Grace Skull says happy birthday, Robert and Dave.
Yay, we're old. Yay, we're ancients. We're ancient and old.
We are getting old, but we're aging like fine wine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you do look like a shriveled up grape, so yeah.
Wow, dude, what's with the insults? What's with the insults?
On his birthday too.
It's not his birthday.
My birthday. Yeah, it's every day is my birthday, Dave. There's somebody else. There's somebody else coming into this show. Now I have to figure out a way to put this person in the show.
This is going to be great.
It is going to be great.
Game with this.
We're gonna
figure it out. I'm going to refill. That's right, guys.
Well, so Taylor, tell me. Okay, so you brought your YouTube game up. How is it?
Excuse
me. How is it? How has it been for you to interview a lot of these people? I mean, you're obviously a horror fan, and you've been able to really start interviewing some great people.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Just this week alone, I put out interviews with Jeffrey Reddick, who is the creator of the Final Destination franchise.
Yep.
I interviewed, who else did I do this week? Jim, who's the voice of Ultron in Marvel Rivals. I'm like obsessed with that game, so that was a really fun interview to do. And Ed Ashton, the author of Mickey 7, the novel that inspired Mickey 17. That was such a fun interview too. So it's been a really, really fun week.
Well, that's amazing. I'm
Taylor,
gonna. By the
what
way,
is your favorite
speaking
horror
of,
movie?
Okay, Scream, but also it's not technically horror, but Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Oh no, come on, Scream's the best.
Elvira, the best? No, but Elvira, Mistress of the Dark does count as horror.
It does count as horror.
Good.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome Spooky Dan Walker. Spooky Dan is now
intimists.
in.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
What's going on, dude? Wow, this is like a Thursday night at Timmy Nolan's.
I've been talking about Thursday nights with so many people lately that for those who haven't attended, that used to be where we would all hang out in real life instead of just like here on Zoom. And it even carried over during COVID. We moved it to online like this, and we haven't had one in a while. I was talking to our good buddy Darren Doctorman recently about how we all are missing this.
Yeah, what
Thursday night games.
We really do.
We've been doing it. Just we didn't let Rob know about it.
Or me or Darren. So
no, we haven't. No, we haven't been doing it. We haven't.
No.
Okay. We ran out. Look, we ran out of shit to talk about. Every week we'd sit there and it would be Darren Doctorman and Charlie would be there at 1 a.m. looking like, please just let me go to sleep. And then another friend of ours, and they would just do quotes from this annoying fucking show. They just wouldn't.
What's the name of the show, Dave?
What show?
Dork Quest.
By the way, have any of you watched any of the new 7 episodes of Black Mirror?
Oh man, not yet.
Is it good?
I've watched.
Good, but
I've watched 3 of them. They're interesting.
I was busy being underwhelmed by White Lotus season 3.
Oh.
Well.
Okay.
Why? I don't know why I watched it. I'm like, what's the point of this? It's terrible.
Don't mince words, Dave. Tell us, what do you really think?
My God, it's like, you could barely make an hour-and-a-half movie of season 3 that would be interesting, and you'd have to drag it out to like 8 episodes. Jesus Christ.
I will say this. Patrick Schwarzenegger was at Coachella to see La Lisa.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, La Lisa, my dream girl? Come on. Patrick's got to be tapping that. Go, Patrick.
Did you watch any Coachella? Spooky?
I turned it on this morning, or I guess it was last night, which would have been prime time, and I had no idea who any of the artists were, and I felt instantly old.
Oh my God.
So no Gaga for you.
I would have watched that, but I didn't see that.
Dude, Gaga's concert was so good. It was like one of the best things I've ever seen.
I wish they would air those.
Don't they usually?
They normally have them up for like a week or two on the Coachella website and on their YouTube, but then they're gone. Like I tried to look up previous ones; they don't exist anywhere.
If there was only a way to like rip that stuff off. No.
They should have them though, because it's like their iconic performances. Like just tonight, I was watching Charlie XCX. She brought out Billie Eilish, she brought out Lorde, and she brought out Troye Sivan. I would love to watch that, in a year from now, 2 years from now.
Who are those
It's
people?
going to be gone. Oh, no.
Come on.
Charlie, Brad Summer.
Who? No, I don't. I honestly, I couldn't name you one song from any of those people that you just mentioned.
Oh, shit.
When Bloody Love Coachella, let me know.
Who's the old guy?
How many years ago was it Limp Bizkit was on? I watched every minute of that. That's showing our age again.
That. I remember when you were watching that. How's everyone doing?
Great.
I saw
How about you guys?
I saw Spooky last week. We went to the goodbye party for Dark Delicacies.
Oh, I wanted to go there. It's so sad.
Greatest store. Yeah. Now we're all like, well, if we ever do anything else, we'll have no place to do a signing
No.
anymore. It's gone. 30 years. 30 years.
I spent so much money on books in there. Small press.
Spent a lot of money there.
Small
maybe
press
not
books.
Taylor, but maybe. I don't know. I don't know if you ever made it there, but yeah.
I never did. I'm so bummed, and I wanted to go for the last week of it, but I just couldn't make it in time.
Oh, well, priorities. Okay.
Yeah, dude. But I can't believe that
I was in Malta and flew back, and then the next day went to the goodbye party.
Oh, I messed up.
So
I just can't believe that LA doesn't have a horror store like that anymore.
No, they have other things, but it'll never be the same. It'll never be like that. And I was hanging out with our friend Dave Scow and Richard Christian Matheson.
Yeah.
So Richard Matheson's son, RC, which is the first time I've ever hung out with him. What an amazing guy.
Oh yeah,
very cool.
Incredible guy. And yeah, we were just like, boy, this is it. It's like there's never going to be another place like this again. And other places, like you have Mystic Museum and stuff, but it's not the same. It's just not. I mean, a place for it wasn't just the heart of Magnolia Park for horror people and stuff. It was really, I mean, Dylan Sue really kind of became the heart of the whole community.
Well, it was like everybody who had anything to do with horror, whether it was written horror, whether it was cinematic horror, whether it was educational or critical horror, everybody went there. Everybody went there. Every event was there.
It was the Cheers of the horror scene, where you walk in and everyone knows who you are.
And that's another thing. I mean, of all the sub groups in the LA film community, the horror community, I mean, I think when you were gone, they had another Masters of Horror dinner. First one in 6 years.
They did. I wasn't invited. I wasn't there.
You were out of town.
You were out of town, dude.
Invited, and that kind of hurt.
What are you going to do? But it had a great turnout.
Great turnout. Amazing turnout.
I think it's things like Dark Delicacies that it sounds stupid to say it, but in those moments where we just take it for granted that it's always there, it's always been there. As long as I've lived in California, it's been there. We've been through 4 stores of different signings and celebrities and books and Dylan Sue, really. And now that it is gone, things like Masters of Horror dinners or just get-togethers are a little more special because when it's taken away, again, you don't even think about it because it's been there for so long. You're just like, oh, of course, we always have somewhere to go to promote our own stuff, support our friends. I don't know how many books I have on my shelf that I've paid for that I've never even opened just because it's got to go support. Books, DVDs, both, lots of those.
Yeah.
Since when I moved to LA a long time ago in 1988, there was a number of genre bookstores. In Santa Monica, there was a Change of Hobbit, which was a huge bookstore. And I bought all my small press, mostly dark fantasy novels, all the stuff that Dark Harvest put out. Now that whole scene is totally different than it used to be. But then you had Forbidden Planet that was on the corner of Van Nuys and Ventura. You had Dangerous Visions with Arthur Byron Cover's store, and then there was Dark Delicacies. So those, and I would hit those.
And we had, of course, don't forget Creature Features.
Well, yeah, then you had the various iterations of Creature Features as well. And you'd make the rounds on a Saturday. I'd go hit all those stores, mostly to buy books and things like that. And ever since things like, what's really weird is, and then of course you have the Iliad bookstore.
Yeah.
But that's so dying out. I mean, I don't know when the last time you went to the Iliad is, and it's like, I get it. They've got stock and everything else, and they just the horror section is 2 shelves now.
Well, you know what happened?
Paranormal romance now. They got rid of everything. Yes, paperbacks from hell killed
it. Paperback. Grady Hendrix, one man, killed the vintage horror paperback scene. Yeah. Killed it dead.
But the funny thing is, Iliad is not, like you can donate books there, but they will not give you credit for. You can't even get store credit for them anymore.
No.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Unless you're in the know, I guess. Unless you know them really well, then they might buy them. But so that's the thing. It's like their selection on every section now is just awful.
Well, but now everybody goes in and buys all the good stuff, and they sell it on eBay or whatever. I mean, everything has been commodified because, and that's kind of the bummer of the whole. Everything is online retailers now.
It's funny because the majority of things that I bought when I was over in Malta and everything, besides getting a couple like T-shirts from certain places, was books. I bought books.
Yeah. I mean, what's really interesting?
No toys,
no. I mean, that was the thing. There was like I was telling Rob, I did find the one comic book shop in Malta called Malta Comics. It might not even be the only one, but it was the main one. And again, the stuff that I would really like it was just too big to like bring back. But they had there, and boy, it was only tempting in a that would be amazing to have, but no way I'm paying the money for it. Was the zombie Doctor Strange with all the arms, the Hot Toys.
Oh, that's a dope figure too. That's a really great figure.
It looks amazing.
Do you have that one, Burnett?
I don't. And I really curtailed.
It was the cape with all the souls, the dark demon souls.
Yeah, I really awesome. I curtailed Hot Toys. To me, it's not as they put out so much stuff that it's hard to even collect because you want to be able. It used to be manageable. You could get everything you wanted. Now it's impossible. They're just putting stuff out. So I've shifted over to mostly collecting Exo-6 figures from that show I can't mention that has two names.
Dork Quest.
Yeah, but I still buy. Like I have a few. I mean, I pick stuff up now and again. Like I've got the Artisan Black Widow figure on order, and I have I really wanted to get the Dark Empire Luke Skywalker because I love that comic series, and I thought it was crazy. Hot Toys made the Dark Empire Luke, so I had to have it. But now it's gotten to the point where it's more fun to buy weird, like off-brand material than it is, or to buy display stuff. Like I'd rather get, like 3D Trekker makes a 6-scale bridge, an entire bridge. It's incredible. Wow. I have to have it. It's only $7,000.
Well, that brings me to my question for you, Rob. Is it used to be when a Hot Toy came out, they were around like $350, $400, right?
They started out and they were even under $200, and now it's insane.
They're like $700 to start now, right?
No. There some are, but they're still $300 to $400. But to me,
I saw one recently. It must have been maybe it was like a reseller, but it was like almost $1,000 for something that was out for very, very little time. And I was there's stuff that sells out the collector market. But doing my audio drama and stuff, I've been putting all of my money and all the money I can get into projects, as opposed to buying stuff. That is a funny phenomenon. How we all are collectors and consumers, and then at some point you just go, "Fuck! I need to do my own shit. I need to look at my own shit on the walls." And it like the snap happens, and you just have to switch. It's a weird phenomenon that's happened to all of us here.
No, it's true because I collected stuff to inspire me.
Same.
And now that there's I have all that stuff, and now I want to make. I mean, having worked on this audio drama, I'm really proud of this audio drama. It was a lot of work, and it was just me sitting in this room. I mean, for hundreds of hours by myself editing. Just sitting here like.
God, the smell of that.
Wait, like what? Like what, Rob?
It's.
I know we did.
It does
that
not
too.
smell bad in here. It smells great. I have scented candles and chocolate.
Can we just do this the rest of the night?
No, but I mean, it's
and it's back to haunt you, pal.
Do you know what I did yesterday? I had a meeting. No, yesterday I drove home and for the first time listened to the first compilation of all 10 episodes together.
Oh wow!
Oh, cool.
And we've strung them all together properly. And I was like, even I was impressed. I was like, wow, this was epic. You know, I'd never listened to it strung together before. So it was wild too. I listened to the first 3 episodes strung together, but this was a whole different.
I mean, he's listened to things strung out before.
That's true. But no, but it was good. I'm
Does
really.
it make you want to do more? Did you love the process? It's a lot of work.
I did love the process. It was the first time I was ever able to do something entirely the way I wanted to do it from the beginning. And I got a really nice letter from Michael Rosenbaum today, an email talking about how much fun it was to work together. And, it will lead to other things. It will lead there's of course, my enthusiasm for where the other things that we're going to do is going is sort of, I think, grating on my business partners. Because I'm like, no, we're going to go. I basically said there is a new component to True Noir. And I said, no, we're going to go make this thing. And we're going to do it in February of 2026. And it's going to cost this much money. And we're going to shoot for, or say whatever we're going to do with it. We're going to do it for this long. And they're all like, you can't just say that. And I'm like, yeah, you can. Yes, you can. Now we have to figure out how do we get all the materials and all the stuff we need to do what I want to do. And they're all looking at me like, you can't just do that. And I'm like, yes, you can. Right, Dave? We've done that.
Yeah, but don't you miss that? Don't you want to just make a scrappy, little low budget, like nasty horror movie again?
No.
Just
And I'm not saying I'm talking about making a movie.
I know.
So
Okay. Maybe we could do a horror audio project next.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Well, no, I would love to do more audio dramas. We'll see once it goes into the mainstream if people like it.
Dramas.
What I do love is that, there's a for the very first time, an officially made audio drama of Dork Quest that's coming out. And I can put my audio drama right next and see who did better.
Oh my god.
Dork Quest or you?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be making Dork Quest. Jesus.
Come on, man.
So
what's this game we're playing?
Well, you want to start the game?
Why not? Because we're rambling. I don't even know why people are. Is anybody watching the show right now?
120
I have no idea.
People are tolerating us right now.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, why don't we play something that they can participate in?
Okay. And remember, guys, if you want to participate in this and suggest, and I'll give you guys the rules. And then if the people watching want to suggest, I do, because it's very difficult to be playing the game and then looking at the chat and like going, oh, what about this? So if you can, do it in a super chat. It's called There Can Be Only One.
Or you can, if you don't want to do super chat, you can also do it on the tip link, which is in the description.
Okay. Yeah, whatever Rob says.
Write it in the sky.
However it works, yeah. Shoot up a firework. I don't know.
By the way, Mario Lopez says the best soundtrack is Blade Runner, and is the Blade Runner soundtrack metal?
Absolutely not. It is so unmetal.
Even though it's about replicants, which have metal in their construction.
But the sound's all keyboard. It's not metal at all. It's not metal at all.
It's prog rock.
We all know it's The Crow.
The Crow has, if you're going to talk about soundtracks, that's a pretty great. Graham Revell's score for The Crow is one of the great.
Oh, we were talking about the song soundtrack, though.
Oh.
But
wait, the what?
I was talking about Graham Revell's score for The Crow.
Soundtrack for The Crow, not the
Oh,
score.
yes, the song. We were actually talking with Dave about that, Dave Scow, about the Crow soundtrack last weekend. It was it's always fun getting insider info on things like that. Like, we can read all about the movies being made, but things like soundtracks being collected and who ended up on them is not something you get to talk about very often, which was really fascinating, just hearing the stories and all the suggestions that come in.
And very few movies get 2 soundtrack albums.
Yeah, exactly.
Of the original score and of the source cues.
Songs, yeah.
By the way, Tom Jr. Jackson, speaking of metal, so have you seen the trailer for the Apple show Murderbot on Apple?
No.
It's great. The trailer is great. If you haven't watched the trailer for Murderbot, it looks great.
All right.
Zach, I'll be the one, says, have you seen Arctic with Mads Mikkelsen, or Arctic? What did you think? Underrated, my favorite film of 2018.
Oh, that one's fun. That one's fun.
I haven't seen it, and I love Mads Mikkelsen.
Well, what the hell is your problem?
Well, I got to watch it.
Oh, Jesus.
Our friend Zach Los is here and says, please make a horror audio drama.
Watch Arctic.
I will watch it. By the way, Zach Los says, please make a horror audio drama. Rob, I'm dating someone who was also a fan of yours and didn't find out until our first few dates. Happy Pesach.
Ooh,
Happy
I wonder
Passover.
how that came up.
Oh, Jesus.
Hopefully when Zach was taking her underwear off with his teeth.
Hopefully.
He looks up and she goes, do you know Rob Burnett? And he's like, what?
Oh,
No.
This is gonna be the death of me.
This kind of show. All right. Where's this game gonna go? All right.
Yeah, where's the game going to go, Dave?
Okay, so the game is, I'm going to give you, right now I'm doing.
By the way, Zach, give your girlfriend a kiss for me. You know what I'm saying?
Down below.
Well, I don't want to say that because I only do. It has to be the best quality kiss, or I don't want to accept responsibility.
Oh my god!
I thought you trained them all.
No, I didn't. No, I don't train anyone.
You haven't.
I don't want any competition for my mastery of being a cunning linguist. Come on, man. What's up?
So, okay. So anyway, this game. Taylor, you're way too entertained by this.
I'm gonna cry. Oh man!
Can I show your graphic yet?
Oh yeah, show the graphic.
Here's the graphic. So, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the graphic. So Taylor loves it when swords cross.
Yeah, who doesn't? Like
I don't know.
Sword fighting every now and then.
So Dave,
White Lotus.
Explain to us what is.
There can be only one.
Yes.
All right. What I'm going to do. So on this, I'm going to give you. I'll start it. I'm going to give you. I'll do a couple of them. I'm going to give you 2 movies, and picture this: aliens have come down and they have taken over the world.
Okay.
What kind of aliens? Like Klingons?
No.
Oh, okay.
Cool ones.
Okay. And what happens when the aliens take over the world?
Space, they've taken over the world, and they've taken over everything in our entertainment. And they pointed our laser guns at you and says, there can be only one. So I'm going to give you 2 films, and you have to pick one of them, and the other one gets zapped out of existence.
Oh, is somebody going to keep score?
It's not really a score thing. It's just more of like, hey, which one would you keep? This one or that one?
How big are the aliens' fingers?
Huge. Thick, bulbous, long, huge, uncut.
Oh no. Well, that brings you're getting to the question that we've always asked on this channel that I was asked to bring back, which is, would you have sex with this alien?
That's a different game.
It is a different game, but anyway, so
I'm going to give you. I'll give you 2 titles, and one of them, and it can be each person, and you have to keep one, and then the other one is zapped from existence, never existed.
Are we going to debate the merits of each movie and why one should be kept?
Yeah, of course you can.
Ooh.
Okay. Ready?
We're ready. Lay it on us, buddy.
2001 or Apocalypse
Gone.
or Apocalypse Now.
Wow, dude, that's a really tough one.
Yep.
You know what? I'm going to say something. Stanley Kubrick is my favorite film director, but I'm going to say something controversial here. I think you have to keep Apocalypse Now.
Okay.
I think as a filmmaking achievement and what Apocalypse Now accomplishes out in the world. He was in the Philippines. The what they did under very arduous conditions, I think Apocalypse Now is one of the most amazing movies ever made. Not that 2001 isn't, but 2001 was basically entirely shot in a soundstage. Even the exterior sequences in Africa were shot in a soundstage. The exterior sequences. I'm gonna go with Apocalypse Now, and I hate myself for doing it.
Okay, Taylor.
Man, why did we start with such a tough one?
Oh, they don't get easier.
Oh no. Ooh. Maybe I agree with Rob on this one. Just for the filmmaking aspects of it, like the technical aspects of it. But that's tough.
Interesting. Okay. I'm going to say 2001 stays. And the reason I'm saying 2001 stays is because it's Apocalypse Now is Apocalypse Now. It's a masterpiece, of course. And every time you see it, it's great. But 2001, I think the more times you see it and the older you get and everything, it actually evolves. You understand it in a different light, and it reveals more of its secrets over time. So I think ultimately it's the film that maybe has more to say or reveals more over the course of time each time you watch it.
I can see that. Dan?
Spooky. You haven't seen either one. So not kidding.
What movies are these? They're from before Duran.
Right.
So I would say 2001 stays, Apocalypse Now goes very simply, not as complicated as Dave's answer, but very simply because there's been so many movies that I love that were because of 2001 that were influenced by that. And Apocalypse Now hasn't spoke to all the movies that I love in the same way. So just because of the influence that it's had on cinema, I think, and I don't really, to be honest, I don't really like 2001. I've seen it a couple times. I know I need to see it in the theater on a big screen and like where I'm like can appreciate it. But I agree with Dave that over time, like I hated it as a kid, I hated it as a young adult, and in my old age, it's way more interesting. But it's so much influence that I would keep that one.
Can I change my answer?
Nope.
I cannot believe that I'm the only one here that's going to
It's tough. It's tough.
Okay.
It's a hard one.
So here's another one. And sometimes, so this one I'm going to make you guys choose is one director centric. And maybe I'll give you a couple of these. There can be only one. So this next one, the graphics up.
Yeah, the graphics up. I put the graphics up.
Now.
Don't worry. I was going to cut you when you say the next one.
Alien or Blade Runner? Okay.
Easier.
Not for...
I'll go.
It
Blade
wouldn't be
Runner.
for-
Goodbye.
Blade Runner. Goodbye.
Go on.
Goodbye, Blade
Alien.
Runner. So Alien. Okay.
Because Alien is such a masterpiece, and as well as Blade Runner, Blade Runner is boring. Like it was a beautiful film, but it was boring. Again, as a kid, it was boring. As an adult, it's fantastic. But this actually defeats the one I just did because Blade Runner has so much influence on all movies we love. But Alien is like, I don't know. When we were kids, we had toys of it because it was so fucking cool. You know? So there you go. There's my answer.
Okay.
Taylor?
I'll go next. I'm surrounded by face huggers. I know you can't really see everything, but I'm gonna go.
Is that
Alien
code for
Saves.
something?
Yeah, it is. Definitely. That's why I'm drinking this, dude.
I'm gonna say something that is again. I'm gonna be a contrarian here. Blade Runner is not a good movie. Blade Runner is a stunning vision, but as a movie goes, in terms of having a narrative, Blade Runner is a movie that it looks beautiful. Every frame is like a painting. I love Vangelis' score and all of that, but it is a movie that has one scene that resonates with the entire audience. And if you ask people about it, they all know what that scene is. I've seen things. No. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. attack ships on fire off the shoulders of Orion. I've seen sea beams glittering in the dark near the Tannhauser gates. You know, and it's the movie just isn't that great, but it's beautiful to look at, and it washes over you on almost in a non-verbal sort of a way. But the movie, it doesn't work as a film. It's cobbled together. You know, there's 5 different versions of it you can get on video. People are still arguing about what the definitive version of the movie is. And I'm sorry, but for 10 years, that movie only existed with its narration. You know, and when I watch the movie, I am incapable of watching the film without hearing the narration in my head. You know, sushi, that's what my ex-wife called me, cold fish. Whereas Alien is a perfect movie. And Alien was one of the most, I mean, the same way that Star Wars was, Alien was a transcendent film that showed us well-worn tropes, the haunted house monster, in a way that we had never seen them before. It presented an alien life form with a verisimilitude that had never existed previously on film. It put blue-collar workers that were ill-equipped to handle what was about to happen to them. Absolute reality. You know, that film is near perfection, and as a movie, it is a relentless scream machine that creates from the opening frames an atmosphere that is unrelenting to the very end of the film, and yet it ends on a triumphant note. You know, and it gives us one of the great female hero protagonists we've ever seen in a movie. A woman that is constantly right the entire time, and no one listens to her. And think about it. She ends up a crazy cat lady, and everyone else gets killed. Come on. What is not to love? And it gives you the single greatest monster that's ever been seen in a movie. I mean, some people could say, okay, the Predator maybe, but it's a different thing. Different thing. The life cycle of the xenomorph. I mean, no one saw that shit coming. When I went and saw that in the theater, I made my grandfather take me because nobody else would, and I was sitting right next to him, and my blood ran cold, and I didn't want him to know I was scared, but I was fucking terrified. And it was amazing. Okay. If you got rid of Blade Runner in 10 years, nobody would remember it.
Oh my God.
Okay. I agree with you. I'm with Alien. All right. Here's another one. And you guys should be thinking of ones to throw out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do another one that's director-centric. Jaws or Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Oh, man.
I'm picking Raiders. It's a better
really tough.
Yeah, I don't know why. I get crunched like this.
I broke it with that one. Oh, we're back. We're back.
Yeah, we're back. So Raiders, I don't know. So you say Raiders, Dave? Now, why do you say Raiders?
Raiders, again, I think like Alien, it's a perfect movie. And the thing is, Raiders is a perfect amalgamation of sweeping adventure, sweeping romance, horror, action. It's got.
By the way, you know
so
what?
Much in it.
Apocalypse Cow has a great idea. Apocalypse Cow says, "Can we poll these in the chat?"
Well, I didn't know if we could. So
let me see if I can do that. Engage.
Yeah,
if I can do that.
Let's slow this up, Apocalypse.
Yeah,
Cow.
start a poll. Start a poll. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
It's all for you guys. It's all for you.
Let's see. I got to add an option. Add option. I can see these. So wait. Let's Alien.
Jaws is not the better movie, guys. Jaws is perfect, but so is Raiders. Tell me what's not perfect in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Come at me. Come on, guys. I'm talking to the chat, not you guys. I know you all agree with me.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna say this is a good idea for Apocalypse Now. I've never really done this, so which film? Let's see if this works. Stays.
That's the thing. This is supposed to be about hard choices, guys. Too, of course. We're not debating that both movies are perfect movies. Of course they are. That's why it's There can be only one. That's why it's a hard choice.
I'm trying to do this. I don't know why I can't do it. Hang on. Let's start from the beginning. But keep going. Keep talking. Keep going.
Okay. Okay. So Taylor, what's your choice?
At first, I was going to say Jaws stays. Man, I know people who still don't go in the ocean because of Jaws. And even just saying Jaws out loud, I hear the score. But I think Raiders has to stay. When you put it up against Raiders, Raiders has to stay.
Wow, it's in the poll. This poll is looking pretty good. This is okay.
Yeah, I see.
There we
I
go.
see your poll.
Do you? You see my poll?
I'm voting for
Naughty.
Alien.
No one wants to see Rob's poll.
It's pretty good.
It's okay.
No, the poll is pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
And we're talking, and guys, just so you know, I mean, look, you guys can pick however you want to do this. You can go, well, you know, you can. I guess you can do the impact of history, but I was just talking purely based on the merit of the movie, the movie itself, not its place in history. But obviously, anyone can do whatever they want. So, Dan,
by the way,
what do you
Darth
think?
Plato points out that if Indiana Jones died in the first 5 minutes of Raiders of the Lost Ark, the bad guys would still all die when they open the Ark.
Dang.
And theoretically, they might have killed Hitler because they would have taken the Ark all the way back to Germany without the interference of...
Yeah, but you know, now you're doing. We're talking based on what the movie is, not.
I know, and that's such a Big Bang Theory thing.
Right. So, Dan, what do you say?
I'm gonna say Raiders stays. This is the one of the toughest ones yet, if not the toughest one
Only
yet.
the
But Raiders
third one
stays.
yet. We haven't even started.
But here's why. And I'm gonna overrule Dave Parker and say nothing to do with the movies, but let's talk about the rides. The Jaws ride is cool, even though I love Jaws. So I'm trying to think, like, when you go through the list of all of the different formats movies have come out that we've rebought, Raiders and Jaws have been ones that I've bought over and over and over. But I think I've bought Jaws more times than Raiders, just because of how many different versions of, it's 4K, now it's whatever. But yeah, Raiders stays. I love that movie. They're both perfect movies, if we're honest. Like, they're both great. Or Raiders.
Well, we'll see. We're putting this poll out.
We are.
Here we go. Which film stays?
You have to weigh in, though.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Look, I'm going to go with Jaws, and I'll tell you why I'm going with Jaws.
I hope you'll tell us why.
Because this Jaws is the story. Look, I think that all great movies, the greatest movies, are the movies that deal mostly with human beings as individuals, people. And what I love about Jaws is you have these three disparate men, they couldn't be more different, that have to get on this boat, venture out into the darkness, the void, essentially, in this case, the ocean, and find the wherewithal to defeat the monster, the evil that lives there. And I think that there's a resonance to the film that Raiders doesn't have. There's a deeper meaning.
Okay, that's fair.
To the movie.
Cool, that's fair.
Yeah, so we'll see what people have to say.
Okay, you want another one?
Yes.
Well, are they all gonna be this? You make like two shitty movies, and we can pick the better of the two shitty movies.
Look, guys, I'm making this up as I go along. So, so yes, we'll get to some shitty ones.
But it's harder to take.
Hold on,
It's more interesting though to take great movies and.
I got a good one though. I get a good one next. All right, guys. Rosemary's Baby.
Ooh.
Or The Exorcist.
Oh man.
Oh, dude, that's.
You're welcome. It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be.
Two of my favorite horror films.
Right. No, I could. No, if you want.
Easy. This is the easiest of all of them.
What?
Dude,
man, I don't know.
I gotta go with Exorcist. 100%.
As it stays.
Yeah, here's the thing.
The original, obviously, we're also, guys, for the most part, Blade Runner with the exception, maybe, but I'm also talking about the original cuts, not any of this other bullshit that's happened down the road.
Okay.
Of these things. Just so
by the way, Raiders of the Lost Ark wins according to the poll.
There we go. Wow, by over half so far. This is a tough one for me too.
Well, why don't you answer it first then?
The tough part is I think the Exorcist is effective in some ways, but I think it's effective for Catholics way more than it is for other people. Where I think Rosemary's Baby ultimately probably has a little more resonance, especially with women, in a weird way, in a more intimate way, because more about pregnancy than possession. But I mean, The Exorcist is just a juggernaut. I mean, again, we're talking about perfect films, and I would say The Exorcist is one of those things that is, The Exorcist got to stay.
Well, you know what the thing about The Exorcist is, it works on multiple different levels.
But I think Rosemary's Baby does too, in a way.
But I mean, it goes back to, if you think about, like, I agree with you. The Exorcist made me want to be Catholic instead of Jewish when I watched it, but if you look at it, there's so many different layers, because at first you have the story of Damien Karras, who is a priest who was not there when his mother passed away, and he's lost his faith in God, and he's adrift, and he's faithless. And then at the same time, you have a mother who's a broken marriage. She's a star, and she has her daughter, this beautiful, innocent child who's been corrupted. And then you kind of have these two. You're dealing with family, the destruction of the family on many different levels. You're dealing with faith. You're dealing with responsibility. There's all these huge things. And then you have the added bonus, the chewy center, the nougaty goodness of the actual devil, who's come up from the Stygian depths of hell to wreak havoc. And it in terms of horror tropes, you've got a 12-year-old girl masturbating with a crucifix, spitting up on priests, swearing. I mean, completely corrupted. The soul of an innocent, completely corrupted. And at the end of it all, humanity prevails. Damien Karras, in confronting the devil, finds his faith again.
It's a much
come
more
into me
than Rosemary's Baby, if you go just by the ending.
But I think it deals with so many different issues. It's such a complex emotional examination of humanity, whereas Rosemary's Baby is about a bunch of dudes gaslighting a woman. I mean, it's really it's also about why you should never date an actor, because at the end of the day, an actor will sell you out to an actor will stand by while the devil comes up from hell and has his way with you, and he will stand by and watch just to get great success as an actor, because that's what John Cassavetes does. And the poor woman, I mean, no one.
Bob, everyone doesn't have to be a half-hour dissertation. We get it. Like,
look, man.
No, it's just like we got to move on. That's the fun of the game. If it's a half hour every time, and you're doing a TED talk, then we're going to. I'm just saying. We're going to be here till 4 a.m. And
okay, both of these movies are important to me. I'm just saying.
Yes, I get it. Taylor.
Okay, I've had some time to think about it.
Okay.
And if only one can stay, it's going to be The Exorcist. However, did any of you see Apartment 7A?
Awful.
Oh, yes. No, you guys. Okay, Dan, did you like it?
Not really.
Oh no, Rob,
I wanted so much more from it, and it she's a good actress, and it just sort of, it was one of those movies where things just kind of happen instead of they're earned, and it was frustrating to watch.
Rob, what about you? Did you end up seeing it?
I did. I watched it against my better judgment. I just thought it was unnecessary.
I agree. I think it's unnecessary, but I don't know. I really, really enjoyed it for some reason. But yeah, okay, if I'm only picking one, The Exorcist, and we should all watch it while eating pea soup. That's my thought on that.
Look, Hamburger Hamlet had the best pea soup, and they don't exist anymore. So
No, split pea Andersons, dude. Have you ever had that?
No.
By the way, The Exorcist smoked Rosemary's Baby. 49 votes,
right.
87 to 12.
Dang.
87%,
Okay.
12%.
Okay.
My
Ooh,
vote's Exorcist.
there's, you know what? Darth Vengeant in the chat has a really good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really good one. Ready for this one, boys?
Yeah. Let's do one of theirs.
Braveheart versus Gladiator. That's a good one.
Oof.
Gladiator. For me.
Gladiator.
For me. Gladiator.
Yep.
Yeah, I think later.
Me too. But even though I think that you could make an argument that Braveheart might be the better film.
A lot of people are picking Braveheart. A lot of people are picking Braveheart.
Yeah. Well, the chat is up.
I get it. It's a great
the
movie.
poll's up.
But I just that just comes down to more like I like Gladiator more. I'm more entertained.
Yeah.
I'm more entertained by Gladiator.
Blazing Asians got one like Halloween or The Thing, but I wouldn't put those two together.
You wouldn't?
No.
Okay. Why not?
I think that they're not on equal footing.
I agree with you. So
Whereas
In what way?
like
What do you mean?
well, it's still Carpenter. It would still be like doing Alien versus Blade Runner.
no, I think something more would be like if you went
The
Prince of
Fly versus
Prince of
The
Darkness
Thing?
and They Live.
No. Okay. How about this one? The Fly, Cronenberg's The Fly, or The Thing.
That's a good one.
Aw, dude.
Okay. Cronenberg's The Fly or The Thing.
Well, wait.
Which one? That's it. That's the one. That's the next
Can
one.
I X myself out of this one?
Nope.
No, because that's a good one though, Dave. That's a good. By the way, David Cronenberg's new movie opens next week.
Who cares?
Oh, damn.
The
That came out
Shrouds.
fast.
The
Yeah,
Shrouds.
that came out really fast.
Hope it's good.
I will be
Malta,
releasing a new Designing Hollywood. I interviewed the costume designer.
Be nice.
Ooh, cool.
It'd be
And
nice if it
Dixon.
was good for a change.
Okay. Wow. You know what? Braveheart. This is the closest poll I think we've had.
Okay.
Gladiator and Braveheart. So I haven't put up The Thing. Well, okay. So Spooky, make your case.
Yeah.
The Thing or
I'm
The
going to
Fly?
go with The Thing because it is a flawless movie. And although The Fly is pretty damn flawless as well, just in the amount of views, I've watched The Thing probably triple the amount of as much as I've watched The Fly. And I love The Fly and I love The Thing. But also The Thing was, I think, as a little kid, the movie that really got me into horror filmmaking. Not just like horror was always cool, but that's the one that made me want to know more and like start reading the books and Angorias. That was the door for me, was The Thing. Probably more than any other movie. So The Thing.
Dave?
I'm going to Thing. Yeah, another perfect movie, but I'll watch that more. It's tough because The Fly is just as perfect. But yeah, everything about The Thing is just.
Okay, I'm throwing the it's in the chat now. The poll's in the chat. Taylor?
All right, I'm going The Thing for kind of like what both of you have said. Number one, it's the one that I've seen the most, and also the one I've watched latest. And the last time I watched it was last year, and I was like, man, this film is just too good. I also feel like the same thing. A lot of people I talk to when they talk about like what film really got them into horror and what film really made them interested in the genre. It's 9 times out of 10 The Thing. So I think The Thing has to stay.
Cronenberg is one of my favorite directors, and so is John Carpenter. And I think The Fly is pretty much a masterpiece. But I do think that The Thing is a far more entertaining and far more, it's much more fun to watch. It has much more replayability because of the ensemble of those guys, because of Kurt Russell's performance. Whereas The Fly is a relentlessly depressing descent into real horror that does not end well. And you could say that The Thing doesn't end well, but The Thing is monumentally entertaining all the way up to the end of the movie. And
So is The Fly.
It is, but I mean, you don't feel like whenever I watch The Thing, I always feel good after I watch it. When I watch The Fly, I don't feel as good. But they're both. I mean, what's really interesting is the Fly came out in 1986 and The Thing came out in 82. And if you look back and you look at where all of our favorite genre directors were, the level at what they were doing was spectacular. I mean, and what's really interesting is the same year, 20th Century Fox was promoting 3 films that came out in the summer of 86. One was Cronenberg's The Fly, one was Aliens, and the other was Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China. So, you had both The Fly and Big Trouble in Little China come out, and at the time, people really didn't understand what Carpenter was doing with Big Trouble in Little China, but I think now everybody agrees that what a great movie.
Yeah. Ready for another one?
Yeah, you have another one?
We'll do some. Let's do some chat. I see there's some.
Poot Chutriot has, Dieter and I was talking about the extreme French horror movement. High Tension versus Inside is actually a pretty good one. I don't know if people have seen both of those movies.
I know what I'm picking.
I do too. I do too. But I'm going to go with this one. I think this is good.
This is a good one.
Yeah, this is a good one.
It's a good one. I have to end the poll. And
The Thing wins by a lot.
Yeah.
Because this chat has taste.
So I'm going to say, let's see. I'm going to put this up so as we answer. Which asks.
I'll start.
Yeah,
hey,
High Tension.
Robert Pendergraph is in the chat. Hey, Robert.
High tension over Inside, because while Inside I think is a better premise to explain to somebody of like, here's how fucked up this movie is. High Tension is just balls to the wall, great from start to finish. And Inside takes a while to get there, and they both deliver. But I think High Tension is a better film.
Yeah, my only problem with High Tension is it fucking botches the fucking landing.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
I'm not even huge. I'm going Inside is the better movie. I'll go for Inside. I go for Inside. It's and when you really look at it, it's more extreme in the French extreme than High Tension is, and it's more different. And it's more different. High Tension is got a lot of like commonality with a lot of other movies that we've seen. It's got its ending, which to me is the big problematic part of it. Inside feels very, very much its own thing.
I have to say that when I watched High Tension, I knew when I started watching, I kind of knew what it was and where it was going. And when I watched Inside, I had no idea what it was about. And
oh, really?
I didn't know what it was about. And when I saw what happened in that movie, I was blown away. And I wish that I had taken a pregnant woman to see it.
You're an evil bastard.
I mean, it was, I could not believe. First of all, I love Betty Blue. And Beatrice Dalle, who plays Betty Blue, and Jean-Jacques Hano's, Jean-Jacques Hano is different. Jean-Jacques Benet's Betty Blue, his third film after Moon in the Gutter and Diva. By the way, where can I get Diva on 4K that has English subtitles, please?
Again, keep moving on.
When I watched Inside, Inside, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I saw it, and I was like, and we met. Wasn't I with you? And I met the guys. We met the guys who made Inside. Wasn't that at Sigis when we were there?
No.
Or was that okay? That must have been for
Year before.
No, the year it was for whatchamajigger? Femme Fatales.
Price?
No, Femme Fatales.
Oh, okay.
So High Tension. By the way, High Tension is winning this one. So Spooky Dan is.
There we go. Taylor, what do you say?
I haven't seen either of these. I had to look them both up, and I don't think I've seen either yet.
That's the only one that you have an excuse for.
High Tension is smoking inside.
You uncultured.
Really?
Is High Tension the 2003 one? Is that what we're looking at?
Yes.
2003 French slasher. Yeah, no, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
All right, I'll check out both of these. They look good.
You're in for a treat. Either one.
And by the way, Inside was remade in America. It's terrible.
But
is that the one with Willem Dafoe? Is that or
no, that's Antichrist.
That's Antichrist. There's another one.
There's a poll for you.
Yeah.
I don't know what you put that up against, but let's not go there. Okay.
High Tension smoke.
I don't know.
Apocalypse Cow has a good one.
Yeah.
Wait, I haven't seen it. Where are we at?
Apocalypse Cow says Psycho 2 versus Exorcist 3.
Oh. I don't know about that.
Really?
Yeah.
They both have merits.
They do. They do, but I think they're too...
No, it doesn't matter. That's the choice. You have to pick one or the other. That's the game.
All right. I mean, look, man, I can't help it. I'm sick for 2 weeks. But I will. I'll put that in there. I'll make a I'll make that into a poll.
What's your pick?
Dave Parker, why don't you start this one?
Psycho 2.
Really?
Oh yeah, Psycho 2 is a great movie. It's absolutely it shouldn't be anywhere near as good as it is. It does, if you're gonna do one of these sequels to a classic movie. While Exorcist 3 is one of the greatest jump scares in the last 20 years, Psycho 2 is solid through and through with story, suspense, plot, performance. Psycho 2 is a score. Everything is better. Psycho 2 is the stronger movie. And people, everyone's gotten on the Exorcist 3 bandwagon now. I love the movie. Psycho 2 is the stronger sequel.
Wow.
See how quick that is, Rob?
I got to go with Exorcist 3. I think Exorcist 3 has one of the greatest horror scripts ever written.
Scripts.
Yes, it's I think like Exorcist 3 is but again, you know what's so interesting though to me? What's interesting to me is that Psycho 2, Richard Franklin did a great job making that movie, and they succeeded in making the movie they set out to make, whereas Exorcist 3 was deeply compromised because they had to
add the exorcism.
They had to add Father Mourning and the exorcism in it. And what I love about Exorcist 3 is all of George C. Scott stuff.
Yeah. No, it's great. But I
think
the
Sergeant Kinnaman stuff.
The whole movie is a better film.
Oh, Darth Plato's got a really good one.
Oh, that was one I was going to bring up.
This is a good one. Darth Plato's got a good one.
That was one I was going to bring up. But anyway, Taylor, your pick.
All right, I'm going to do it very easily. If after this I were to watch one of these, like if I...
You haven't seen either one?
No, I've seen them both. I'm saying like after this, if you guys are like, oh, watch one of them before bed, I would pick Exorcist 3. So I'm going to go with that. I just think it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
If I had to pick one to watch after this, that'd be the one.
Spooky?
I'm going to go Exorcist just because I like the franchise better. But they're both kind of equally good. I don't love either of them, but they're both fun and good. And Psycho's got some awesome stuff. But yeah, I'm going to go Exorcist.
Yeah. Exorcist 3 is
so not confident on that one.
Exorcist 3 is winning. I'll end that one since these are quick. Oh, Exorcist 3 went up. Yeah, 61. I don't know when it stopped.
Okay.
Darth Plato's is really good. This is a good one.
Cool. All right.
So Darth Plato asks, Conan the Barbarian or Excalibur?
Rob, why don't you start us off?
Ooh, okay. This is a tough one for me, but I'm going to go with from a filmmaking perspective, and the fact that the film takes you on such a journey, and it's so mythic, it's so gorgeous. I'm going to go with Excalibur, because to me, Excalibur works on multiple different levels. But that said, I love the mean, muscular Conan with the Basil Polidorus score and James Earl Jones as Thulsa Doom and Sandal Bergman. It's more of a pulp fantasy, whereas Excalibur is a meditation on myth. Excalibur means more to me, but I do love Conan. So
I'm going to go to you guys for help on my answer. Which one has more nudity?
Conan.
Conan probably has more nudity.
I think so. Mainly on the one scene, right? So
The orgy scene, yeah.
Yeah, but I will say that
But is it good nudity compared to Excalibur's nudity?
I guess. I'll go with Excalibur.
Helen Mirren gets me hard, man.
Imogene Borman.
And that, Igraine. I mean, and Excalibur has the great sex scene where you have a man in a full suit of armor having his way with Igraine.
I'm going Excalibur.
I am too. Let me vote it in.
Taylor?
All right, so this is a tough one, but only one of them has James Earl Jones in it, so I'm going to go with Conan.
It's true.
There we go.
Well, we know what you like.
By the way, Dieter Bastian is in the chat.
Yeah, he's going to pick every wrong choice there is.
Oh, he can't even defend himself.
He can defend himself tomorrow.
He can.
He'll pick Beastmaster over all of them, so, yeah.
Well, these are good. So, does anybody? Let's see. I'm looking.
We got another one. Do we got another one, or I can come up with one? Okay.
There's another one from the chat from Thomas Logan.
Okay. Wait,
Oh, I don't. You know what, Tom? I don't like this one.
but I have one.
Tom, well, we got to read Thomas Logan's, but
Yeah, we got to read it.
Pasolini's Solo, or I can't pronounce
Serbian
it.
film?
Spasovic, yeah, Serbian film. I don't think that's fair.
Why not?
Because I don't think those two movies exist in the same realm.
But you have to.
They're both dare movies. I dare you to watch.
You have a laser gun to your head. You have to pick one. You don't have to say why. Just pick one. We'll move. We'll give them the answer and move on.
Well, a Serbian film is more fun to watch. What does that say about me?
Jesus Christ.
I own them both. You want to watch them?
Do you
I got
really?
them.
Of course he does.
I do. Uncut.
I've never watched
I'll
either.
go-
I don't want
yeah,
to.
gun
I
to my
love
head.
horror too much to want to go down that.
Yeah, gun to my head. I'll go for Sallow by a real filmmaker as opposed to the other guy.
That other guy made a great look. That movie looks great, though. It's a great looking film.
I don't care. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy and his reasons that he says he made the movie for, which is all bullshit.
By the way,
If it's the same way that Miyazaki goes, "Oh, I Spit in Your Grave" is this meditation on women and rape and bullshit. He was making an exploitation movie.
by the way, I got to
Fucking
ask you guys about a Mexican movie that was completely not on my radar. It's called A Rose. It's a serial killer.
Haven't heard of it.
Haven't heard of it.
I need to go find it. So, if anyone knows
All right,
about
movie
it,
night around.
See you later.
Is it like
Okay.
on par with Sallow? Is it one of these kinds of movies?
no,
where
but
a
it's
dare
it's supposed to be hardcore.
Yeah, I will take shit eating over baby fucking. Yeah, sorry.
well, yeah,
I'm crazy.
demonetize.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for that, Dave.
I just got health notices like you're gonna have a heart attack in a minute. No. You guys?
I've never seen either, so
Oh, really?
yeah.
I have never seen either, so I'm not voting either.
Cool.
I probably would have.
I'm not mad, guys. I'm not mad. But
Michael
fuck-
Thomas Harrison
fuck Serbian.
asks Poltergeist or The Entity. I don't think those are that's a fair comparison either, because one's an R
No,
rated.
Unless we're grading on nudity.
No,
then-
I have a much better. I have a much better one.
Okay.
The Haunting. Robert Wise's The Haunting
Okay.
or Poltergeist?
How are those even equals?
Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Hey, it depends on what you. Okay, all right, all right. Fuck The Haunting then. The Others or Poltergeist?
Still same
See,
problem.
yeah, I have the
It's
same
not.
problem with
Is
that
it?
too.
Is it? Are you just populists?
No, it's not that. But those movies are not. They don't. They're too different to be compared and contrasted.
Well, no, it doesn't matter. Just pick them. Pick one.
But I don't think it's. I don't think it's a fair comparison.
They're both classic movies.
I think Poltergeist versus The Entity.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's easy. Poltergeist would win over The Entity, even though I love The Entity.
But The Entity is a great movie, and The Others I think is a good movie.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
really? When's the last time you watched The Others?
But that's the thing. I don't think that those movies are in the same.
Guess what?
They're not in the same ring. They're not in the same weight class.
Rob, it's my game. It's my game. It's my game.
Yeah, but we're making
gateway entry into horror. The Others or Poltergeist. Poltergeist got everybody. Like, it was literally everybody.
Yeah, I would say that what Poltergeist did. The Others is classical horror, whereas Poltergeist.
Okay, how about so what would you pick, The Haunting or The Others? If you did those are much more akin.
Well, okay, but they're from different eras as well.
It doesn't matter.
They're like 40, 50 years apart.
It doesn't matter. I'm just gun to your head.
But I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I would say
it don't matter what you think.
I love Amenabar. I mean, yeah, you got to go. The Haunting set a tone.
Yeah,
it was an incredibly. That's why I think it's not. That would be like asking, what's better, Casablanca or When Harry Met Sally? You know, I mean, it's such a
easy.
Or Casablanca.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, it's hard to compare them.
Isn't that like a record?
Now, Stubble McShave has one that is a good one.
Let's wipe the slate clean here, and then we'll go with theirs for now.
Stubble McShave. Okay, here, and this one's eternal. Armageddon versus Deep Impact.
Armageddon.
Oh man.
Armageddon.
Hang on, I got to make this poll because this is
the shit right here. Armageddon versus Deep Impact.
Because they're
that's the shit. That's the fine shit right there. It's the shit.
But I think that is a those are comparable movies.
It's not about being fair.
Sure it is.
I mean, no, it's my game. Don't tell me what it is, what it needs to be.
It is your game.
Whatever. It's my game.
Dave made it up.
It's my show, Bear.
It's your show, Bear. By the way, for those of you who don't know, this game is called. Here's the graphic. There can be only one. It's Dave Parker's game. You can play if you want to.
You're just allowed to play it.
Yeah, it's Dave's world. We just live in it
right now.
So
feels good. Feels good, Rob.
Charlie the Unicorn says Armageddon has a better music and a better soundtrack.
It does. Armageddon's a way more satisfying movie. Better movie.
Oh. See, I like them both, and that's a tough one.
Armageddon wins. I remember Armageddon, and I don't remember Deep Impact.
Dude,
I just remember Elijah Wood's sort of doe-eyed look as he runs up a hill to be with Lily Sobieski. I mean, if that doesn't tell
who
you
was in Eyes Wide Shut, and you know what she was doing in that movie.
I don't care. She's awful.
Dude, I'm a Deep Impact. I'm a Deep Impact guy.
Oh, of course you are.
All the ladies know it. You know, what can I say?
I want to leave them like Armageddon, just a wasteland. Man, I'm telling you.
But Deep Impact's actually legitimately got great stuff going on.
It's terrible.
It is not terrible. And it was Mimi Leader after The Peacemaker, which is a pretty great movie.
You remember The Peacemaker? That great hit, guys? Remember that
I
one?
like Look, Mimi Leader directed one of the greatest hours of TV ever. She directed Love's Labor Lost on the first season of ER.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It was great TV. Not a great movie.
You know what? She could have had a better career. Deep Impact's really well directed. It's heartfelt.
It is heartfelt.
Come on.
Oh, you're so soft. And
Tay Leone.
Yeah, again, Armageddon. Liv Tyler. Metal.
Aerosmith. It's metal. It's more metal.
Metal. Wins.
Bruce?
Taylor.
I'm going Armageddon, but I think we skipped over one from.
No, there's a couple.
Okay.
Yeah, they're pouring in now.
There's like a Nightmare on Elm Street versus Candyman. That's a pretty good one.
Easy. That's easy. A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare.
Yeah, Nightmare.
See, don't you think Candyman's a better movie?
No.
Helen.
Not ultimately not.
Wait, Rob, which one? Which one?
My victim.
Candyman.
No,
Candyman.
I wanted him to say it 3 times.
Oh,
You have to say it 5 times. You had to say it 5 times.
Oh, I'm bad at math.
I won't make that as a poll, but
Candyman,
again,
you
I
ain't
think
you ain't getting the hook tonight, Taylor. That's
I think those are comparable. I mean, even though they're different eras, but you know,
it doesn't matter about eras.
Nightmare Candyman, if only for the score. Although
Yeah, that's a really good score.
Nightmare's got a great score too.
Nightmare does have a great score.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's a tough.
Get
one.
out of here. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
How many Candymans? How many Elm Streets are there? Get out of here.
Pooch Shoe Treat's been a member of the channel for 22 months.
Wow.
Nice.
Why
Oh,
so
this
little?
is. See, I don't know if I can go with this
You've
one.
been on for like 19 years, only 22 months. What the hell,
Michael
guy?
Thomas Harrison asks, "Contact or Close Encounters of the Third Kind?"
And the funny thing is, I just watched Contact again this week. I threw it on.
It's good, isn't
Why?
it?
Oh, I love Contact,
I love Contact. Come on, Dan. What do you mean? Why?
but it's
I mean,
but
it's a weird movie to pick out of the blue. And
No, it is.
20-year-old
no,
movie.
because both like meeting aliens things. Close Encounters wipes its ass with Contact, though.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not sorry. Not sorry.
No, Close Encounters is a, yeah.
Masterpiece.
Yeah. Pooch Shoe Treat asks, Anaconda versus Lake Placid.
Lake Placid. Lake Placid, the better movie.
I think
Way
so
better
too.
movie. Anaconda is just a really loose remake of Creature from the Black Lagoon. Lake Placid is not.
And my Anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun. You could do side bends or sit-ups, but please don't lose that butt.
I don't know what Major Chai just said. I'm sorry, Dave. I didn't mean to bring that up. Oh, I don't know what you brought up, Major Chai. So you have to.
So bring it up again.
So bring it up again, so I can be insulted all over again.
Thomas Logan asks, 9.5 Weeks versus Blue is the Warmest Color. No. Both of those movies are great for different reasons. You can't compare and
9.5
contrast
weeks.
the two.
9.5 weeks.
Dude,
You
Blue
can
is the
leave your
Warmest
hat
Color
on.
is an amazing movie.
You can leave your hat on, Rob.
Yeah, but they don't go together. You can't, they don't belong.
I
in
do
the
what
same-
I do because I have to.
I do what I do. Listen to you. I have that soundtrack.
I
That's
do,
John Taylor from Talk About Duran
Hell yeah.
Duran.
From
John
Duran
Taylor from
Duran.
Duran Duran has I Do What I Do on that score. On the source cues. Or Norwegian Kryptonian wants to bring up scientific accuracy in Armageddon.
Fuck that.
But then says, but you can't really beat Steve Buscemi riding a nuclear weapon.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
Slim
can't.
Pickens can ride a nuclear weapon better than Steve Buscemi. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, but we haven't gotten to that one yet.
Of course, Uncle Jimmy brings up, I'm surprised no one has brought this up first, Volcano or Dante's Peak? Volcano.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, Volcano.
Volcano, especially if you live in L.A.
Look at us. We're all gray. Come on, over the grandma fucking burning herself in the acid fucking pool, going. Talk about, okay, there you go. You guys wanted it. 2 shitty movies to pick from: Dante's Peak or Volcano. They're both fucking terrible.
Volcano
They're both
is awesome,
terrible
dude.
Fucking movies.
You
We're all
know,
gray. We all look alike.
is that how fast you do it?
No. Only
Michael-
when I'm watching Volcano, because I want to get it over with fast.
I actually have a soft spot. It's a guilty pleasure. Michael Thomas Harrison says, Fright Night or An American Werewolf in London? It's pretty good.
That's a tough one.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm actually make a poll for that.
Ooh. Yeah, that one.
I feel like they are both 100% perfect movies. And
They are. Boy.
there are not that many perfect movies in the history of movies, but there's those two. And Fuck, that's a hard one.
It is.
I mean, I think I know what Rob's gonna pick. I think. Tell me if I'm wrong. I think you're going with American Werewolf.
Yeah, because it fulfills a fantasy of mine, taking a shower with Jenny Agutter, which I wanted to do since I saw Logan's Run in 1976.
Well,
and no, I think that I love Fright Night. I dearly love Fright Night, but I do appreciate American Werewolf in London there's a balancing act going on in that movie that's really difficult. I mean, it asks a lot of the audience, and the tones that it spans. It was a difficult feat to pull off, and I think that American Werewolf is a superior movie. But I love Fright Night.
Because Fright Night isn't a werewolf movie.
You have to have faith for this to work on me, Mr. Vincent.
How about this? How about I vote for American Werewolf, but then I click on Fright Night in the chat. Does that work?
No, I gotta go. Look, I'm going with Fright Night.
Tom Jr. Jackson asks. That's an interesting question, Tom.
I love Fright Night. Fright Night. I love both. I'm going with Fright Night. Because I think there's better werewolf movies, and I love American Werewolf, but there are better werewolf.
Yeah, what werewolf movie is better than American Werewolf?
Name one.
Wait, we haven't gone to that. We haven't gone to that part of the game yet.
I mean, I'm surprised no one said like The Howling or American Werewolf. That would have been the obvious.
The Howling.
I do too.
Love The Howling. I think The Howling might be.
And you have a great.
The transformation in The Howling I like more.
Yeah, I do too. And the sex scene, Elizabeth.
Yeah, I like the Howling. I love American Werewolf. I love American Werewolf. But yeah, better werewolf movie, The Howling.
Yeah, that's not part of. We're not.
I know we're not doing that yet. We're not doing that. So I picked Friday Night. I love. Friday Night was a very big thing for me when I was a kid.
And it has visual effects shot in 65mm by Boss Film.
Taylor, you didn't say which one you picked.
I know I could go either way with this one, but if I had to pick one, I would go American Werewolf. But I don't feel like strongly about it. Like I could do either one, so just had to pick American Werewolf.
Okay.
Where's the chat at on this?
Well, the American Werewolf is 68%.
Oh, 1% more. Let's do it. 1% more.
One more. Well, there you go. I'm gonna end the poll. Let's see what we got here. There's a lot of people throwing out like. Okay, wait a minute. There's a lot of stuff like Darth Vengeance says Star Trek 2 versus Empire Strikes Back, the sequel standoff. Yeah,
is it easy?
I don't think that those two things are.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you feel it's like they're asking which one you picking.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't think that.
No, there's not a but. It's just it's one or the other.
Well, it is Dave Parker's game. Remember, he called it. There it is. There can be only one.
There can be only.
It's Dave Parker's game. I can't say.
There's only one. Which one? I'm allowing it because it's the only good Dork Quest movie. So
it's not true.
I'm allowing it.
Empire Strikes Back. Easy.
No, I don't know. I think Wrath of Khan. I think Wrath of Khan is a better movie. I watch it. I do watch Wrath of Khan more.
Which one has more nudity?
Yeah.
Neither one.
Damn it.
Unless you count robots as being naked because C-3PO doesn't wear clothes. And if you're into that, that's your thing.
But he's got no junk.
That's your thing, guy. I mean,
he's got no junk and he's got a flat ass.
Hey, but at least we've got, Carol Marcus.
He doesn't even have a tongue.
We got Carol
And his
Marcus
mouth
and
is
Uhura
rectangular.
and shit
What
like
good is he?
that. You know, I'm telling you, we got a little something there. We got Khan's pecs. You know, I mean, there's more. There's more. You know.
No, I would say it's a more resonant movie, but that's why I don't think look. I think the point of your game, Dave, is though to give
You're gonna interpret my game
compare and contrast. Yeah, I'm gonna. Why not? We're supposed to be pundits. I think that the point of the game though is to pitch two things like The Thing and The Fly, both remakes from the 50s, both made by masters of horror.
I have no rules, buddy. It's just like
there's one rule.
There's Dave's
rule.
My rule.
But you've got to make it interesting where it's a conundrum which one's going to win.
I'm so glad you explained it to me.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying. Because at first, your first question was really interesting.
Oh, well, I'll try to come up with some other
And then it was all downhill.
I'm not saying that.
I'm so sorry, Rob. I just...
Thomas Logan says, Howard 9.5 Weeks and Blue is the warmest color, not in the same genre. They're both about very sexual affairs. No, that's not what they're about.
Rob, what are they about?
That is just yes, they both have sexual affairs in them, but Blue is the Warmest Color is about real love. Whereas 9.5 Weeks is not about love. And there's your difference. And Blue is the Warmest Color is devastating because it's about a woman who's fallen in love for the very first time, even though she's been in relationship after relationship or whatever, and it's a devastating, emotionally wrenching film, whereas 9.5 Weeks is about sexual obsession, which is not about love. So they're different. And I love them.
9.5 Weeks wins. There you go.
And I love them both. I love 9.5 Weeks. Love it. Blue is the Warmest Color, though, is a devastating movie. Where'd Dave go? He got
left.
Left.
He quit.
9.5 Weeks.
He rage quit.
He quit. Stub McShave says Pulp Fiction versus Reservoir Dogs. That's an interesting one.
Ooh.
I like that.
I do too. It's easy, but I like it.
What, Lorraine?
What? Welcome back.
What, Lorraine?
Hey,
Stub McShave has a good one. I'm gonna do this one.
Okay.
This is a good one.
Are you gonna do that one?
I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
Which one?
Pulp Fiction versus Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah. So I like this one. This is a good one. But I can never. Reservoir is a word that I can never ever spell correctly.
Copy his spelling there.
That's what I'm doing. Absolutely.
Reservoir. He spelt it wrong.
Yeah, the Q is silent.
It is. So there we go. I'm starting that poll. Let's see what people have to say.
I don't know.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction's it's taken an early lead. I will let you discuss amongst yourselves. I will be right back.
Well, Rob quit.
Oh, thank God. Now we can get through some of these.
Rapid fire.
Okay, Logan's Run versus Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
You can't say those words, Dan.
I know.
Those words are banned. It doesn't matter that he's gone. You can still hear.
Are we really not allowed to say those two words together?
Yes, you cannot say. It's a Dork Quest.
Sorry. Hey, I'm going to go Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, I already voted in the chat.
Same. They're both really awesome. But,
I didn't vote. I could have brought some of my choices up if I had just hit the button.
I've just been hitting the button to help me lock it in.
Damn it.
So that way I don't have to think about it.
Stubble McShave, what do you think? Because this one is, they're both awesome, right? They're both kick ass.
Yes, they are.
They both have a zillion quotable moments.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of them have nudity.
I mean, I think the thing is, for me personally, I think Tarantino continually grows with each movie. He started out pretty great and then has just continually gotten better all the way up to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I did not see Death of a Unicorn. I don't care. It looks stupid. I hear it was not good.
I loved it, and Dave is wrong.
Well, yeah. Why'd you love it? What's her name?
Well, of course, but there's like a whole bunch of reasons to love it. But are you surprised that I love that, Dave?
No.
Just by the title alone?
No. That's true. Taylor, what do you think of Death of a Unicorn?
I thought it was good. Not as good as I was hoping for it to be, but it was pretty fun.
Tom Jr. Jackson says, "Wicked or Wizard of Oz? Which one stays?" From the 5 minutes I could stand of Wicked, Wizard of Oz stays.
No, come on! I've seen Wicked in theaters 3 times, and I cried all.
Wicked
the time.
was the most interminable fucking beautiful.
Oh,
I mean, very
so
beautifully
good.
designed,
So
but God, those two people are interminable to look at.
Mario said we skipped one about Akira versus Ghost in the Shell. I didn't see that one, but
I haven't seen either one.
Oh, I mean, I didn't see that, as in I didn't see the super chat.
I know, I haven't seen either one though. So
Oh,
I think I saw them both in college, and I don't remember much.
I would
of
say
either, but I
if I was gonna pick, I'm just gonna pick Akira.
I think the one I remember more is Ghost in the
Dave
Shell.
Leslie Parker. What
Yeah,
the fuck
same.
are you saying, Thomas Logan? That's not my middle name, so go fuck yourself, Thomas Logan. And
Come on now, we don't insult Thomas Logan.
in
Come
the
on now.
most respectful way possible, you bastard. Okay.
Do you have another
All
one?
right.
Yeah.
In case you
Which
don't
one?
remember, we are
What are
engaging
we
in the
doing?
game called "There
Where
Can
are
Be
we?
Only One." It's
What are
a
we-
game.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
There can be only one. I don't know. Do you have
How
another
many? How many can there be?
One.
one?
There can be
Only
one. There can be one.
Rob Burnett versus Dave Parker. That's a tricky one.
Oh, it's me. I win. I
Yeah,
win.
it's Dave.
It's his game. He
I love
wins.
Rob Burnett, but I lived with Dave for a long time, so
And I'm way more
Dave wins
entertaining.
by default.
Look,
you
I've
guys
lived
were
with Dave
roommates?
for a long time too, and I let him win. He wins.
And
What, you guys
There
were
you
all
go.
roommates?
I'm just more dominant. That's all you can say, Rob.
By the way, I mean,
Wait,
he
hold
just
on, hold on.
who just came back from a foreign country and who didn't.
Uh-oh.
Dave wins.
Wait, you guys all used to live together, or what happened? What
No,
did I
yeah, it was a big commune. You missed out.
Yeah,
on
rent
it.
free in each other's heads.
Yeah.
miss?
Well, that's not true.
Were
Dave,
you guys really roommates? Or is
Dave and I have
No.
lived. We lived together in Auckland, New Zealand, working on
Rob was
Chronicles of
barely
Narnia.
there.
How long did we
I
live
was there.
together, Dave?
10 years.
Like 10 years,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dang, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had a great house too.
He's very gentle. That's
Where were you guys living?
North Hollywood.
North
Oh,
Hollywood.
nice.
Yeah,
Um,
the-
okay.
It's like,
we got to come up with a good one. There's lots of.
All right.
lots of.
Oh, yeah. No, I got a good one.
Yeah,
I
there's
got a
some
good,
good
I
ones
got a
still
good
here.
one. I got a good one. I got a good one.
Okay, hang on. Let me start this. I want to get a chat started right away.
Silence
Is it
of the
spooky?
Lambs
Ooh, I like this one already.
or Seven.
okay.
Oh, that's a good one, dude. You know what? They won't let me make any more polls. Oh no! Oh, I'll tell you why. Because I still no. They won't let. No, I had one. There was this. The poll was still going on.
There can only be
Now
one.
I can make a new one. This is a really good one.
Well, Pulp Fiction one. Okay, so yeah, Seven or Silence of the Lambs.
This is a good one.
Oh my God, Silence of the Lambs. It's got to be.
It's got to be.
Yeah, it's tough. That's why I'm saying it's got to be. I don't know. I'm
Why
just
is it
gonna
got
go
to?
with it.
Why is it got to be?
I don't know.
Because the slow horses dance.
All right, now you just won it easy. Silence wins. There you go.
All right.
Slow horse.
Goodbye, horse.
Goodbye, horses. There.
Goodbye, horses. Not slow.
Seeing
horses.
rape makes that more than.
Is he wearing rumor? Oh wait. Oh wait. Wait.
You know what? I have to say, okay. I'm going to say something controversial here.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm a huge Thomas Harris fan.
Grip your chairs, guys.
I had read both books at the time. Red Dragon and Silence of the Lambs were the only ones that existed. Hannibal had not been written yet. I thought that Silence of the Lambs, the third act, when it does that sort of misdirect, when the SWAT team is going to one house and then Clarice Starling goes to the door and James Gunn opens the door, I thought was lame. I thought that was a cheap misdirect that denigrated how the novel worked. Because in the novel, Clarice Starling had earned, she was such a good detective, and it showed how competent she was that she wound up there. And I think that I know they needed a shortcut to get to that point, but I always felt it shortchanged her character. Whereas I think that Seven is one of the great masterpieces of crime horror cinema. And I when I read that script, it was the first script I ever said yes to. It was the first time I read a screenplay.
Yeah, we know. Everyone knows.
And was electrified by it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. So I'm going to go with 7.
Taylor's going with Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Dan?
Silence of the Lambs.
7.
Not just because of the song, but Silence of the Lambs because, again, rewatchability. And 7 is great, but Silence of the Lambs is another masterpiece. And they're both... I wouldn't say 7's a masterpiece. I think it's great. Where I think Silence is a masterpiece.
Wait, did you guys see the new one in the chat right now from Thomas Logan?
Yeah. Free Enterprise versus The Hills Run Red.
I mean, come on, guys. One is an indulgent movie about someone's life, and the other is not.
And one's available on Scream Factory Blu-ray with copious amounts of special features, and one you can't even see anymore.
So obviously, Free Enterprise is better.
No, I think Hills Run Red's better because you can
I don't
see
know
it.
about that. No, I think it is a better. Look,
I'll say this.
As a movie, I think Free Enterprise is a better movie.
Free Enterprise is about friendship. The Hills Run Red is the culmination of friendship.
Wow, that was deep.
Aw, I'm gonna cry.
God damn it. I
mean, seriously. I mean, Free Enterprise came out 10 years before Hills Run Red, and Hills Run Red would not exist without the friendships that we all forged during the 90s, and were glimpsed in Free Enterprise, and they had real world. I
get a part in both, so I'm good with whichever wins.
That's true.
Say, Free Enterprise has long hair Dave Parker in it, so
it does.
I'm gonna go Free Enterprise.
The hair's getting longer. It's working.
Yeah, but it was like to your shoulders at that point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not a good look anymore.
I cut my hair recently.
You can pull it off.
My luxuriant locks are gone.
Look, it's getting longer. I'm working it, but shit, man. So so 7 for me too, as well as getting back to the poll.
Thomas Logan thinks I should make polls about these things. He's mad. The real question that I'm going to ask for Thomas Logan is, in what format are you going to go see Sinners next weekend? That's what I want to know. There's a poll. Did you guys watch the Brian Coogler piece on all the different formats?
No, because unfortunately I can't understand him.
There's a bunch of formats I didn't know there were. I think it was IMAX.
Well, no, 70 millimeter.
Oh yeah, they shot it.
IMAX.
They shot it in Ultra Panavision.
Yeah.
I mean,
where do you even see it in Ultra Panavision?
You can see. Well, you can see it at the Vista in 70 millimeter. Okay. So I think the Vista is the way to shoot it or go see it.
I think City Walk has the 70 millimeter too.
Well, they got IMAX.
For sure. Yeah.
I hope it's good. I have a feeling it's not.
It has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Who cares what critics think?
Wow, it looks good, but it looks like I don't want to say something we've seen, but it looks like they give a lot away in the trailer.
It's like Bordello of Blood done a little classier.
Let me see.
Gosh, you have no faith. Come on, you have a studio.
Bordello of Blood, you cannot get classier than that. Come on, Dave.
Okay, we can't. we really can't. We need another one. All right, I've been thinking of all. Come on, guys, help me out.
Well, Poochutriot says Cabin in the Woods versus Tucker and Dale. I can't put those.
Cabin in the Woods.
I can't put those on the same level.
I mean, but they are. I get it. I get why he's saying it, but Cabin in the Woods is better.
Cabin in the Woods is better.
Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods is way. But that's the thing. It doesn't.
But
They're
Tucker
not
and
even in
Dale,
the same league.
The director of Tucker and Dale versus Evil's new movie, Clown in the Cornfield, will be coming out in May.
Oh, I am so excited for that. That looks so good.
All right, here's an interesting one. Not a movie. Who's better, Art the Clown or Pennywise?
Oh, come on.
Oh man,
Pennywise is an alien mutant.
And Tim, so Pennywise.
Yeah, and Art the Clown's just a murderous clown.
And no, he's supernatural. If you paid attention, Rob.
You want me to pay attention in the Terrifier movies?
Yeah, obviously you haven't been paying attention.
Who's calling Taylor?
No, it's an alarm. It's an alarm.
It's an alarm. Like, get off now. Face hugger
Rob,
now.
Like the Terrifier movies, Rob?
He hasn't seen them.
Not a fan?
I have seen all three of them. And while I'm not a fan, to be honest.
Okay.
Although I do respect Terrifier 3 for going as far as it did. I mean, it's a really mean-spirited movie, and I enjoyed it for that.
1 and 2 was a less mean-spirited.
I think 3 though was. I mean, look, God bless those guys for making as much money as they made. I really respect the hell out of what they accomplished.
100%.
But but the thing is, I have more respect for somebody like the Pierce brothers who made The Wretched, which I thought was
really? Why?
I thought that I'll tell you why, because that was I thought it was a terrific film that
you're making The Wretched too,
I know, and they should. They've been off the board for too long.
Okay, so I guess we missed a major Chai one. Super chat, Rob. Just letting you know.
Sorry,
I'm looking.
I see it.
Silly goose.
Heat versus the usual suspects.
Heat versus
the usual suspects. Ooh.
Easy.
The usual suspects.
Wait, I'm gonna make a poll for that one. I'm very. By the way, 7. That was a close poll.
Oh, I bet.
I'm gonna add. This is a good one. I think.
Wow,
I think
that was close. Holy smokes!
Yeah, that was really close.
Crazy.
That was the closest one we've had. I'm gonna go usual suspects. It's just more unique. It's more unique. It's a more twisty, complicated crime thriller. Again, if I had to pick, I would say.
And one movie we did special features for.
But that's
and
not
another movie we didn't.
But that's not the reason I'm picking it. I think the soundtrack to Heat is better, and way more people are picking Heat, and I get it. I get it. Usual Suspects is a great movie. Now maybe considered problematic.
Well,
but
the movie's not problematic.
The movie shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that. Whatever is problematic should not taint the movie.
Thomas Logan with the Pink Flamingos versus the Human Centipede. Come on, dude. No.
Pink Flamingos.
No. Yeah, you got to Pink Flamingos 100%.
The real question is, what position in a human centipede would you want to be?
Oh, the middle. I mean, if you're gonna do it, do it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be in it, do it. You certainly don't want to be the end.
Rim or get rimmed? Come on, that's the best. That's the best place to be.
Yeah, but you can rim and get rimmed.
That's what I'm saying, at the same time.
Yeah, in the middle. Yeah,
it's like a threesome. Who do you concentrate on? I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, Michael Thomas Harrison said I missed his last super chats.
Okay.
Okay. One Halloween versus Psycho.
Oh.
That's a tough one. But okay, look, it's fair. It's on the table. It's on the table. It's on the table. And it's fair. Both masterpieces.
Should we finish the last one first?
Both masterpieces.
Oh, Heat or The Usual Suspects?
Yeah. Or was that a landslide?
Heat.
No, it's not a landslide. Heat's only at 68%.
Okay. So we're getting there. But we haven't done the Psycho versus Halloween poll yet.
See, but it should be like Psycho versus Peeping Tom.
No, Rob, that's not the rules. This is a fair challenge right here.
All right, it's
Psycho
time for gummy bears.
Halloween.
That's all I'm saying. It's time for gummy bears.
Oh.
Time for some
edibles.
No, there's no edibles in Haribo gummy bears.
No, they're just sweet. They're just Swedish.
No, I love
I like this ASMR. Wait, Rob, I have a question. Wait, Rob, I need to know. What did you think of Lisa's set at Coachella?
I'll tell you where I wanted her set to be. It was fine.
Just fine?
No, she was great.
Rebecca.
She was
Wow,
great.
Dan quit.
No, Dan's coming back. She's so
key
cute.
breaks that are allowed. As Rob pontificates between Psycho versus Halloween. Continue now and begin. And
Well,
what's your pick? And what's your pick?
Look, I've got to go Psycho. I mean,
You do? Okay.
I mean, Psycho is a monumental moment in cinema history.
Oh, and Halloween isn't? Okay.
Not to the extent of what Psycho is. No.
Oh, it's not.
Dang.
No.
Cool. Okay.
I'm going Halloween. I love Halloween.
I'm going Halloween over Psycho.
Yeah, because you know
influence alone. Psycho was very popular, very successful. Halloween was the most successful independent movie ever
at the time
until Blair Witch Project.
But Psycho wasn't an independent movie.
So 1978 till 1999, the most successful independent movie ever made. Influenced countless ripoffs.
So did Psycho.
Really? Which one? Peeping Tom was before. So which ones did Psycho?
I think that Psycho.
Straight Jacket.
Okay, dude, it's not apples and oranges like that.
Well, no, it is right now.
Look, Psycho is an elevated. It was Alfred Hitchcock. It was not considered. Halloween was a drive-in picture. I love Halloween, but Psycho has far more influence in cinema history than Halloween does.
I think people would argue that both have as much value now in cinema history.
I don't know, but Heat, by the way, is not as big a leader as we might think.
We'll see. You haven't put that poll up yet.
The Heat are Usual Suspects?
No. I mean the Psycho versus Halloween one.
Okay, I'm gonna put the poll up right now. Psycho versus Halloween.
So Heat wins.
When I started watching movies, Psycho.
Suspect.
Okay.
Heat wins over Usual Suspects.
Wait, who said that? Whose poll was that? Was that a
Major Chai Chai? The poll says Heat wins over.
No, it was Michael Thomas Harrison's ask, right?
Well, I'm just saying. No, Major Chai Chai did. What stays? Heat or Usual Suspects? Heat.
No,
wins.
I got that. That's already done. Weird. Who?
I don't for Halloween versus Psycho.
Who was that?
Oh.
I'm looking. I'm scrolling up.
Oh, it was Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas Harris.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas what?
Michael Thomas Harris. Harris?
Okay.
Harrison.
Yeah, I thought it was Michael Thomas Harrison.
Thank you all for the chats.
Which stays? This is a good one. We'll see, because Spooky Dan's back.
Okay, where are we at?
We're
Halloween or Psycho. That's where we're
Halloween or Psycho.
Halloween, easy.
Thank you.
There we go.
That's Psycho's black and white. Who watches that?
Oh, come on.
I watch many black.
Setting up, Rob. That's like saying Purple Rain and seeing what happens.
Oh, how about I can't wait to get that new Dolby Atmos version of Purple Rain.
Oh my god.
When?
Oh my god.
It comes out next month, I think.
Dude.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Okay. So we have more. These guys are just throwing them out there, man. It's crazy.
They're throwing them out there. A silly goose.
All right.
I'm glad my game is popular. Yay.
Okay. Silly Goose says music recommendation of the night. Please listen to Death. Dave must already listen to them.
Double McShay's Lawrence of Arabia versus Ben-Hur.
Do you have to have seen either of them?
Yes. If you haven't, you can't.
Wow.
Lawrence of Arabia or Ben-Hur?
I hate Lawrence of Arabia with every fiber of my being. I fucking hate that movie.
How can you hate that movie?
Sand, more sand. Boring.
I'm going with Ben-Hur on this one.
Cinema, that's for sure.
I'm going with Ben-Hur over Lawrence of Arabia. Sorry.
Wow.
And then Mario Lopez, Mad Max 2 versus Fury Road.
Oh.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm going Fury Road. I'm going the Fury Road is a better movie than The Road Warrior. I'm sorry. If I have to pick one, I'm going the Fury Road.
Well, you're not gonna go like Mad Max was made for less than $2 million or
no, it doesn't matter. It's not about that. It's about what hits you harder. And I'm telling you.
Well, Fury Road is a fucking masterpiece.
It's a juggernaut.
But so was The Road Warrior at the time.
Yes, it was. But the thing is, if I have to pick one or the other, I'm going on the Fury Road.
That was my birthday movie in 2015. That was pre-Elizabeth, before I met Elizabeth and the girl that I was dating. That was when Dave Hargrove told her not to trust me.
Was after the
my
Fury
birthday.
Road screening. I met George Miller after the Fury Road screening. So
there you
guys
go.
have strange ways to pick movies.
Yeah.
Should be about nudity.
what are you guys picking? There's
I'm
more
going
new.
Fury Road. Fury Road.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's funny, you
Thank
get
you.
past
A lot
12
of them are
o'clock
coming in
on
right now.
Midnight Metal, or the alcohol kicks in.
Yep.
Spooky, you don't drink, do you?
No, he
No,
didn't.
I'm all energy drinks. So
That's
I'm,
good.
So,
with you.
so he's still on the same level as we are.
Yeah, I've had 7 of them since we sat down.
Oh no.
War Games or Doctor Strangelove from Michael Thomas Harrison. Those are
Wait,
totally-
whoa. You're missing out. Sorry. I'm just keeping you honest here, pal.
Look
What
at
do
our
we miss?
poll.
Independence
Our
Day
polls.
versus War of the Worlds, Tom Cruise.
Independence Day, easy.
Yeah,
Independence Day.
I would say
Independence Day.
that. Yeah.
Apocalypse Cow was like, Rob, do my $5 super chat way up. Boy, that helps, buddy.
I couldn't find it.
Let's scroll up.
No, it's up
Maybe-
there somewhere.
Apocalypse Cow, maybe just like re-ask the question again.
Are you sure that we didn't use it in a poll? Oh, look. Silly goose. I'll find it.
then-
Don't worry. I'll find it.
Poochoo Riot goes Fifth Element versus Starship Troopers.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Both have nudes.
Well, one of them has Dina Meyer nude, so yep.
So you're saying Starship Troopers over Fifth Element?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Well, you said, oh, Dina Meyer nude. Oh,
I just love Dina Meyer.
okay. So which one?
Oh, you know what? Apocalypse Cows, the one we miss is really good.
Oh, okay. Let's do that one first. We'll get back to Fifth Element. and
You know what?
Starship Troopers.
Apocalypse Cow, this was worth looking. Oh, wait, that was Michael Harrison's the one I was or no, it was Apocalypse Cow.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you. Apocalypse Cow has one that's really great. It's really
Okay.
great.
Okay.
Better be.
It's really great. You ready? I'm going to
Ready.
put this in the poll. Hang on, let me end the Halloween poll. This one's good. So, Apocalypse Cow asks, and this is going to be painful for a lot of
Halloween
people.
won, by the way.
Halloween did win.
Yeah.
Of course it did, because Halloween's newer.
Eh.
Okay, this one's good. Hang on. This. Okay, you ready? So Apocalypse Cow asks, which one stays? Dawn of the Dead or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? That's
Okay.
a good one.
Okay. All right, cool. I like this one.
I do too. That's a good one. That's a bingo.
That's a bingo.
That's a good one.
This should be easy, but it's not.
It's not.
Oh my God. People are crazy. People are fucking crazy with this one. Guys. Rob?
Okay, here's the thing. Dawn of the Dead is one of my favorite movies of all time. Top 10 of all time. That said, it also, because Apocalypse Cow also asks, which Second Sight box set should you get, Dawn of the Dead or Texas Chainsaw? And I would say both are essential. One is not better than you have to have both. The Dawn of the Dead box set's my favorite piece of physical media ever.
The Second Sight one.
But I would say,
wow.
they're the Second Sight box sets of both films.
I have it in 4K, just not the Second Sight one.
Well, you're missing out.
Well, I'm poor.
But here's the
I'm
thing.
not getting all these super chats like you are.
I would say that Second Sight's, Dawn of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is, I think, one of the watershed moments in cinema for horror.
Yep.
And you can't, I always talk about peak verisimilitude and all that. I think that one of the great examples of peak verisimilitude in film history is Texas Chainsaw. And that movie making has a certain kind of alchemy in it. And whatever that movie making alchemy is, what they did with the original Texas Chainsaw is a trick that has never been duplicated and never will be duplicated ever in the history of cinema. It never has. And it is a singular experience. And the first time I ever saw Texas Chainsaw, believe it or not, was in 1980, and I saw a bootleg video cassette of it. And it blew my... I couldn't believe what I was watching. And
it's Chainsaw all the way. It's the Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, as much as I love Dawn of the Dead, and Dawn of the Dead's an amazing movie, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre is beyond. It goes beyond movies to true art.
And the thing is, I'll table it with the sense of like, okay, yes, I love Dawn of the Dead too. Night of the Living Dead has more resonance as a movie in its underlying meaning and everything else than Dawn of the Dead does. And look, I'm a kid of the 80s, so I grew up with Day of the Dead. I love Dawn of the Dead. Don't get me wrong. It's the best one out of the trilogy. I'm more partial to Day of the Dead because when I grew up and everything, Chainsaw is Chainsaw. There is no equivalent.
But the thing about Chainsaw is it's like you're watching what's happening.
I know.
There's a you are there quality to it. It transcends.
It is the purest, rawest. There would be no...
There's no barrier between the audience and the movie you're watching.
There'd not be so many other things because of Chainsaw. There'd be no Blair Witch. There'd be no Paranormal Activity in a weird way because this rawness, this realness that this movie instills in it, it infects you. Dawn entertains you. Chainsaw
changes you.
It's unlike any other movie experience that I've
But the
ever
thing
had.
is, here's the thing: Dawn of the Dead is much more entertaining to watch than Texas Chainsaw is.
Absolutely.
You watch Texas Chainsaw and it leaves you. You have to take a shower when it's over. So, but the meaning behind it is just so.
Is there a meaning? Question. I mean, that's the thing. It's just like it's a pure visceral experience, and there's very few of those in cinema. I mean,
Texas Chainsaw is like when a sun goes nova and destroys its entire solar system, and you've got like if our sun exploded and killed and destroyed all of humanity and all of our history and everything we'd ever done, eradicated us from the universe, never to be seen or heard from again. That's what Texas Chainsaw deals with. It deals with that kind of, that kind of entropy, that kind of just nihilism.
And in a way, the tougher pull might be Evil Dead, the Evil Dead versus Chainsaw.
Yeah, but Texas Chainsaw is an illegal zone.
It really stands above.
Yeah,
Thomas Logan asks.
We all love James Gunn, but
we're not even talking about James Gunn. You son of a bitch.
Dead.
Oh my god!
To listen to you, you're bad man.
Dan's bringing the funny. He's bringing the funny in.
By the way, Thomas Logan asked Bryan Singer or Brian Fuller. I love them both. Both are my friends, and I'm proud to say so. The real question is, whose house am I going to Wednesday night?
Is that a poll that we're voting on?
No. No.
I think it's Brian's.
Yeah, I think Brian.
Oh yeah, I think it's Brian's.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to Brian's house Wednesday.
A Silly Goose says Texas Chainsaw is a movie you remember. Michael Thomas Harrison says Jaws the Revenge or Exorcist 2.
Jaws the Revenge.
Exorcist 2 all the way, dude. Come on.
Nah, fuck John Borman on that movie.
No, I think Exorcist 2 is really interesting.
No, it's not. It's terrible. It's not as terrible as Jaws the
Signal
Revenge.
Strength 5 does not know we can't mention Star Trek on the show, but he says Deep Space Nine versus Babylon 5, which is actually really good.
You.
That's a really good... That's a really good answer to this.
You. And I don't see it as a super chat. And sorry, it's like, no, it doesn't exist here. Those
Dave,
things
calm
don't
down.
exist yet.
One of our viewers sent in a thoughtful super chat. You have to be nice.
Okay, great. Neither.
But that's a really great question.
No, it's
though.
not. It's not. It's a terrible question, and it's one that's great for observations.
That's true, but I would say Deep Space
And
Nine.
he can pontificate. Look, ask him again on our observations, and you will get a whole hour-and-a-half dissertation. You'll get it there. You'll get.
I like them both. I like both shows.
You'll get so much though, but you'll get the minutia there. It's okay, guys.
Dude, this is a great panel. We should do this every Friday.
Let's do it.
Or Saturday. Sunday now.
I don't even know when it is.
It's like, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm done with True Noir. It doesn't matter what day it is.
Dave, you are wrong. I don't know what I'm wrong about. I don't care.
Remember,
Right.
this is Dave Parker's game.
It's my game. It's my game.
There can be only
There
one.
can be only one.
There can be only one. The game
It took
brought
a
to you
long
by
time
Milton Bradley
making
and
that
Dave
art.
Parker.
You have no idea how hard it was to make that art.
It was
Damn.
amazing. Yeah. How many
Damn.
prompts did it take you? One?
Yes.
Thomas Logan asks, Alex Kurtzman or Alec Peters? I mean, I loathe I am to admit that Alex Kurtzman, because he gets done. He gets everything he says he's going to do. He does.
He gets things done. How dare you? Stop, silly goose. Stop this with this fucking Dork Quest questions. Stop it.
Yeah, that's
Bill Barclay,
well, his
stop
name is a
calling-
silly goose. So
And Bill Barclay, stop calling me out on shit versus alcohol. Fuck off.
Dave,
I win every time. It doesn't matter.
wait a minute. Do you win every
getting
time, Dave?
mad.
I've left
It's
your
like-
game up for a long time. I'll put you back. I don't think. I think alcohol beats you every time.
We know it beats you.
Look, I don't think it does. I fall asleep on
camera for 6 hours. Yes.
yeah, and people super chatted me when I was asleep. I mean, I was memeable for a couple of years there. I was memeable. Oh, this is a good one.
There's some really good ones.
There's some really good ones.
Corey's
Really good ones. Corey C has a great one. This is a great one. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna make a
poll for that one.
Yeah, this is gonna have a poll.
People are yawning now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yawning.
I'm sorry.
So, dude, I mean, we're past
getting,
midnight anyway. So
yeah,
so.
that means
That's my bedtime.
we're getting done very soon. We're wrapping this up
Asks
soon.
which stays. This is a good one.
Boogie Nights or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yep.
Boogie Nights.
Right. I want. Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
why
No.
Boogie
No.
To be honest, I really don't like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah. But
I
that's
like the ending. I like the ending with the flamethrower. But that's about it. So Boogie Nights.
I can't be here. I can't.
It's a good look at that. It comes out 50-50. Then it goes to 64. Then Once Upon a Time jumps up. Boogie Nights 52. Look at that. This is a battle. This is a battle. You know what? There's a lot of people that don't love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Tarantino fans.
I tell you what, I think Boogie Nights, because as much as I love Once Upon a Time, Boogie Nights is so good. It's so rewatchable.
It's so good.
So fun. So they're both great films, but this is going to sound, I'm going to give you the quick, long answer. So the thing that I don't like about Once Upon a Time is if you change history, then Charlie Manson doesn't become Charlie Manson, which means Marilyn Manson doesn't become Marilyn Manson, and I don't meet my wife. So, that
wow.
all said,
Okay. That's
I'm sticking with Boogie Nights.
Well, I would say, Boogie Nights was it. I love the fact that Boogie Nights is trying to capture a part of real history, even though it's fictional. It's capturing a time, whereas Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is ultimately a fantasy. Whereas Boogie Nights is really rooted in reality.
It's a fantasy, though.
It is a fantasy, but it's made up of stories that were real stories. It's based on real people, and it's kind of, I dare say, Boogie Nights is the true noir of the porn world of the 1970s.
Over
say
movies
that.
like Wonderland and stuff like that. That's interesting. And Taylor, I'm curious, why Boogie Nights though? I'm just curious what.
Oh my God.
I didn't hear the reasoning.
Okay. Oh, well, I don't really enjoy Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but Boogie Nights, the first time I ever saw it was like in public it was like a diner, and they played movies late night, and I just was like having the most fun with that movie. So I remember when I was there, I didn't find out, it was like a long, long time ago. I didn't find out what the movie was. And this was, I don't even know how long ago, but yeah, it took me a while to find it again. Once I found out what it was that I was watching, I watched it again, and I loved it so much. But I'll always remember seeing it like at a diner late night, and it was just a fun way to see it for the first time.
It's a very tough call, actually, I got to say, because, when you start really thinking about Boogie Nights and you think about the Alfred Molina Night Ranger scene, and you go, oh, how amazing that scene is.
That's the whole movie. That scene, basically.
But there's so much. There's so much in that movie that is really great.
What's your pick, Dave?
I mean, that's what I'm trying. I'm really trying to think about this now. I still think it's got to be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
By the way, Boogie Nights is at 51% right now.
I absolutely adore, and I'm not sure why, Taylor, you didn't like it so much, but it's one of the. I have to go with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I saw it multiple times in the theater. I watched it multiple times afterwards.
Did you read the book?
I haven't read the book.
I did. The book's great. It is good.
But I just love hanging out with those characters. It's very but it's again very tough choice. But yeah, I gotta go with Once Upon a Time. There's
some really great people are firing in some good ones now.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas Harrison asks, Superbad or Knocked Up?
Superbad.
I got to go Superbad on that one.
Yeah.
Knocked Up.
Oh.
Really? Knocked up. Really?
Yep. I like them both. They're both fun. I thought Knocked Up was a little more awesome and rewatchable. Superbad was a little more stonery. Not my jam.
Right. Okay. I can see that. Okay. That makes sense. Shonen Kaiju says Ex Machina versus Her.
Oh, Ex Machina. That movie's so good.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Ex Machina for me.
I don't know, man.
As an AI enthusiast, I'll still pick Ex Machina. Like, that was awesome.
Yeah, but her had, I think her had a better grasp of what AI is going to mean to humans, and it had one of the most of recent movies of the last 20 years, science fiction films especially, when Joaquin Phoenix realizes this operating system he's fallen in love with, when he sits on the steps and he asks, how many people are you talking to right now? And she's 3,000 or whatever. And I was like, it was such a betrayal. It was such, because the AI didn't know it was a betrayal. The AI thought, I'm an operating system, but he really believed he'd found this new kind of love. And when he realizes that's the illusion of the modern era, man, that movie, that scene kills me every time I watch it. I just, because that's what it's going to be like.
Have you
Now
watched
we
it
have
a bunch of, like you've watched it a lot of times?
I have. To me, I think her, and by the way, Ex Machina. If you talk about the 10 best science fiction films of the 2000s, Ex Machina, Her, Children of Men, there's not very many, and I think they're right. Those are right up there, and I think Ex Machina and Her are an incredible double feature. Like if the new Beverly was playing them on film, you have to go see them.
Okay, yeah. I've got one for you guys. Separate from the super chats for a minute.
Should I make a poll?
The Big Lebowski versus Dazed and Confused.
Oh, that's a really good one. Hang on. Wait, I'm gonna end this poll. This is a good one. Oh, I like this one a lot.
Oh, that one ended really close too.
Wow.
Like almost 50-50.
Holy shit. Yeah, that would be really close. I'm glad I voted.
Wait, how did it not end up 50-50 then? If it's 49 and 50, wouldn't it be 49 and 51 or what happened? You can vote for a third thing or what?
No.
Does like one of our votes count for a little bit more?
No.
That's weird.
The Big Lebowski and
Dazed and Confused.
And by the way, shout out to the actor who passed away.
Oh, yeah. Nikki Katt.
Yeah, Nikki Katt. The Big Lebowski or Dazed and Confused. To me, this is a perfect one.
Both stoner comedies in a way.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, you could do more obvious and like go Big Lebowski versus like Cheech and Chong, but they're so different. And these are both these movies could be considered hangout movies in a way. But
by the way, name says Dave Parker, R&B is the most overrated panel host. I think you'd be surprised at the results.
Because he goes controversial poll, you versus me, and I said you would win hands down. I said you would win hands down.
Who says I'm overrated though? Have I been rated?
Name does. I don't know who Name is, but I'm just saying.
This is my channel. You're watching my channel.
Again, it's your channel, Bear. It's your show.
It's your channel. But, I appreciate that.
Hey,
you know what's great? What's great about being overrated is people are thinking about you.
That's right.
And that's worthy of celebration.
We're already talking, but this is interesting. I think Big Lebowski versus Dazed and Confused. What do you guys say?
I have 2 words.
Parker
Posey.
Piper.
I agree with Taylor, but not for those reasons. I just think Dazed is such an awesome movie.
But you know what? They're both really awesome movies.
Yeah.
But again, this is the whole point of the game is they are both amazing, awesome movies.
No, by the way, I want to ask Name, why am I overrated? Like I'm still back. I'm still back on. Have I been rated? Like who rates me?
Wait, can you make
like?
A new
Are there?
the
thing is, are there people that say I'm a really good panel host, and that I'm over? So that if I'm overrated, there must be people rating me as a panel host, and I haven't seen any evidence of that at all.
Thinks that I'm not overrated.
Wait, make a poll.
Makes me feel
this
good.
Is the 49-50%. It's the Burnett's.
I just love the fact that I'm people that there's. I didn't even know I was rated by anybody, much less to be overrated means somebody's rated you high.
Name says multiple people have proposed the vote R&B versus Dave Parker. Look,
Dave's gonna win. I'll do that.
No, my vote's on you, or Spooky wins. Taylor wins over any of us. But let's get back to Big Lebowski versus Dazed and Confused.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
They're both.
So you have two for Dazed.
Mm-hmm.
They both bring joy. Rob, what do you say?
You know what? First of all, I think Dazed and Confused is another perfect movie. Like Spooky Dan. It's a perfect movie, and even though it isn't just a stoner movie. It's a movie. It's a movie where it's literally about the precipice of the future of your life. And all these characters are looking out at the end of high school is the end of you might as well be standing on the edge of the Grand Canyon. And all of these characters are dealing with that in their own their own ways. And what I loved about that movie is where I went to high school, we had an ecosystem where everybody was kind of intertwined. Like, there were people that hated each other or whatever, but everybody kind of would go to the same stuff. We didn't have like the John Hughes Chicago hierarchy of people.
Where did you grow up, Rob?
In Seattle.
Seattle, okay.
On a
So
place
he
now
loves
that I could never
singles more
afford to
than-
live
He
on.
loves singles more than all of us.
I do love Singles more than all of you.
Terrible movie.
Singles is not terrible. But
Oh my
but
God,
but on the other hand, The Big Lebowski is a movie. You know, whereas Dazed and Confused seems, it's so real. I mean, it's such a
It's almost Verte the way that it's
yeah.
I got to pick Dazed and Confused because I when I watched that movie, I was like, I was not part of that generation, but I watched that movie and go, God, I wish I was.
I was a little younger. I was a little too young, but I recognize
that generation. But I wish I had been in that generation. I like the music, everything about it. I related to.
I would like to say I was 2 years old when it came out.
Well, isn't that special?
But that means you made
Hey, me too.
That was
Yeah.
your mom
Wait, I
felt
wasn't
sweet
even
emotion.
born- I
Your
wasn't
mom
even
felt
born
sweet
then.
emotion from you.
I mean,
Your father didn't, but your mom did.
Oh man.
Actually, REG. That's a good one. This is a good one. Hereditary versus The Witch.
Hereditary.
Before we get to that, just looking at the polls, Lebowski, we are in the minority here. Like,
yeah, people.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of figured that.
I would too. I
kind of figured that.
but that was a really good one. That was a good one.
Thank you.
That was a good
I
one.
had
Yeah,
my
it was a good
moment.
one.
Still, I'm still cognizant enough to have.
Wow, Michael
Hey, Rob,
Thomas
what's-
Harrison asked Last Starfighter or Tron.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And then Thomas Logan says Albert Pune's Arcade versus Jeff Burr's Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Leatherface.
Yeah, I
We're all
got to
gonna
go
put
Leatherface on
because
that
we were
one.
friends with him.
Yeah, Leatherface. Even though I worked on Arcade, Leatherface.
You worked
Did you
on
work
both.
on arcade, really?
You worked on both. Oh,
Oh.
Oh my God, I spent a year of my life on
He
Arcade.
recut Arcade.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, and
You
of
really
course,
are
I gotta call.
He's super old.
It's so old.
Now,
I gotta
now-
call
now-
Dan Schweiger. He's like, come on, man. What are you
Hey
doing?"
man, come on. Hey man, come on. Or the stories that Dan doesn't want to come out about him.
I think that the Tron Last Starfighter is a fun one, but it's a kind of an easy one for everybody
Yeah.
because one's clearly a superior movie, even though the other one's fun.
Okay. Which is what?
Which wait.
Tron.
Which is what?
Which is
Tron
what?
by a
Dan?
mile.
Tron by a mile.
Okay,
Like
I'm
10
with
miles.
I'm with Spooky on that one because it was transcendent and it did. And by the way, Tron has 2 sequels now, and Last Starfighter
With
has
Jared
none.
Leto, which defeats Last Starfighter instantly.
By the way, I got to tell you, I can't recognizers over American cities. Come on.
Oh my
That's-
god! I was like, "Oh, fucking!" Tammy
come on.
looked at me and
Yeah,
laughed.
Come on.
I'll give Tron because of the impact and influence and groundbreaking that it has had. I don't think the first Tron movie, technically, story-wise, is a better movie than the last Starfighter, but influence-wise and everything it is. So I would pick Tron as well.
Or you could go by the rides. The Tron ride. Oh wait, there's not another.
That's true. By the way, Shonen Kaiju has a good one. Annihilation versus Under the Skin. I mean, not a lot of people have seen either movie, but that's a good one.
Under the Skin. Annihilation is a mess of a movie. Under the Skin, way better.
Yeah,
Under
but
the
did you see
Skin
what
is-
H said in the
By the
live
way-
chat. Annihilation has no nudity.
That's true. And Under the Skin has full frontal Scarlett Johansson. But I would say
Under the
I want to remind everybody both of those movies are literary adaptations of books.
Don't care.
Oh yeah.
No one cares, Rob.
Jeff
No one
Vandermeer
cares about the
wrote Annihilation, and
don't care.
Michael Faber wrote Under the Skin. I'm just saying. Darth Plato
Okay,
says Beverly Hills
here's-
Cop or
here's-
Back
I
to
got
the
one for
Future? Come on. Wait, go ahead, Dave.
I got one for you. Weird one. Weird. Brick or Under the Silver Lake?
Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, I'm going to go with Brick on that one. You know what? Under the Silver Lake overreaches. I like Under the Silver Lake, but I think Brick was more effective. I think it worked better.
I think you're right. Given what they're trying to do with the noir aspect of it, the Raymond Chandler sort of thing about it, I think Brick is more successful.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. But I do like Under the Silver Lake.
I do too. A lot.
And by the way, I would like to say that my audio engineer on True Noir also was the audio engineer on Under the Silver Lake.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So if I can promote that.
No offense to him, but Brick wins.
There you go.
Yeah, we need to come up with a few more difficult ones.
By the way, a Silly Goose has a good one, but you have to have read books. Hyperion versus Foundation.
And I don't read science fiction. I'm sorry.
I would say this, I'm going to go with Hyperion because people know about my great love of Hyperion, but that is a great one. Oh, Herman D says Under the Silver Lake is Harmon D says Under the Silver Lake is trash. Come on, man.
No, I don't.
And yes, Pete Den Cat asks if Brick is that Rian Johnson film. Yes, it is.
I have one for Taylor.
Oh, you know what? Darth Vengeance has a good one.
Okay.
He has a good one. I'm going to put this up in a poll. Okay. This is a good one. Last House on the Left versus I Spit on Your Grave.
Wow.
I wish Dieter was here to answer this one.
Wow. Oh, I'm so curious what you're going to pick, Rob, with this one. I honestly am. I really am.
Hang on, I have to put this.
What's the more?
Adam Schofield says he saw both on the same day when he was 15.
Wow. Oh my God.
That would have been that's like bleak day.
Oh.
Okay. Rob, what do you say?
Okay, here's the thing. I Spit on Your Grave. I got the Wizard video release, the VHS when it first came out, and
no one cares about that.
No, but I have to say, I did not see it in the theater. I took it home and watched it. While I was we had a split level, so you had a garage on the down floor, and then we had our family room where the laundry room was. And while I was watching I Spit on Your Grave, my mother came downstairs to do laundry. Now my mother.
First half or second half of the movie?
The second half of the movie.
Doesn't matter.
And so I was watching this movie, and I think I was 13 watching this tape. And my mother never really paid, because there was always screaming, and I was always watching horror films and all that. But it was the only time my mother stopped in my entire life. And she looked at me and she said, "Are you supposed to be watching this?" As if there was an authority higher than her that delineated what it was I was supposed to be watching. And it was very funny. And I have to tell you, I felt that movie made me feel horror. There were two movies when I was 13 years old. One was The Devil and Miss Jones, which was the first pornographic film I ever saw.
The wire, we call them the wire brush movies.
I was so unequipped or ill prepared to see pornography at 13, and to see rape revenge in the way it was presented. It was so horrible. Both of those movies were so horrible to me, because even at that age, at 13, I loved women. I in my mind, I had not had the experience I later had, but I loved women. I loved women on Star Trek. I loved women 60s. I love women.
You said what? You love women?
I know, but those two movies were so disturbing to me as a 13-year-old. I should never have seen either one of them.
Okay, so just pick.
The thing about Last House on the Left, it's distancing.
Just pick.
It's okay. My point I was going to make was that I Spit on Your Grave was a movie that affected me deeply, but it was a movie I never stopped thinking about. Where Last House on the Left was kind of disposable. You know, I mean, I get it. I understand. It was impactful, but not like I'm going to
spit on your grave.
Yeah, and the point I was going to make is that disturbs me. I feel bad that I'm going to pick I Spit on Your Grave because it was a movie that I shouldn't have seen, didn't want to see. Still to this day, I did not buy that Blu-ray or the 4K set. I didn't buy it.
Okay. Taylor?
Dave, how about you?
Oh, for me, I will pick I Spit on Your Grave. That's the better movie. It's the better film. It's the stronger film. As strong as Last House on the Left is, it derails itself with the comedy sequences.
Yeah.
I Spit in Your Grave is pure, turgid horribleness.
Nightmare fuel.
It stays true to itself from start to finish.
I haven't seen either of them in a long time, but the one that I remember more of was The Last House on the Left. So I'm going to go with that one.
The remake is so much better.
Yeah. By the way, there's so many good ones. I'm looking at. So let me just get.
Hold on. We've got. Okay.
I just want to go through a few. So that
Major Charge. I had another one.
Hyperion versus Memories. This is a good one. I mean, people would.
They might not know all these.
Memories of Murder. So you've got Bong Joon-ho's Memories of Murder versus Kyushi Kurosawa's Cure. No one knows. It'd be hard pressed, but both those movies are great. I would go with
Memories
Cure.
of Murder. I'm going with Memories of Murder.
Cure is a fantasy film, whereas Memories of Murder is a straight procedural thrill. But great. That's a great one. Apocalypse Now. It's a great one. By the way, I own both of those movies in 4K.
No, really?
It's true.
That's another show. That's another show, Rob.
I know, it's another show. Michael Thomas Harrison, The Final Countdown or My Science Project?
Final Countdown.
I fucking love My Science Project.
It's good.
That is so awesome. There's so much good stuff in that movie. It is fantastic. Final Countdown, whatever. But My Science Project is like a flawed, great film. It didn't have the budget it needed, but it's got so much good stuff in it.
By the way, Poot Shoottriot has an we talked about Fifth Element versus Starship Troopers, but he asks an interesting question. Which movie has better zombies? Train to Busan or World War Z?
Train to Busan.
Yeah.
They're not CG for one.
Exactly.
Major Chai Chai, To Live and Die in L.A. versus L.A. Confidential. Come on, those are two totally different movies.
Yeah, but he's still, again, gun to your head. You got to pick one.
Well, I'm going to pick To Live and Die in L.A., but I love L.A. Confidential.
I'll go for L.A. Confidential.
It's a great movie.
You guys?
I'm going with Rob.
LA Confidential.
You haven't seen
There you go.
either one.
Oh, 50-50. No, I have. Sorry, I'm just getting sleepy.
Dude, you can't be sleeping on Midnight Metal.
You're younger than all of us.
We started an hour late and we've still been on for 3 hours. Yeah, it's amazing.
Am I though?
Tonight we are sponsored
We just started.
Stub McShave asks The Doors versus Ray. I gotta go with The Doors because it's Oliver Stone and it's amazing.
And better nudity.
It's a
lot of nudity.
I love The
great
Doors.
movie. Ray's kind of a chore to get through compared to The Doors.
Yeah, I love
The Doors.
Is awesome. Whether it's factual or not, The Doors is more.
The Doors is. I love The Doors. I love The
more.
Doors so much.
It's
love
so
it.
Great.
Yeah,
Darth Plato asked.
If we do all music-based movies like that, that'd be great.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Beverly Hills Cop or Back to the Future asks Darth Plato, but those don't really. I mean,
But
okay,
you have to pick one.
Which one are the two? I missed it.
Back to the Future, Beverly Hills Cop, both seminal films in '84 and '85. I mean, I love them both, but it's okay. I think it's unfair to pit them against each other because they're not. They're totally different movies,
and one's superior to the other one
by a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think Back to the Future has a perfect screenplay. I love Beverly Hills Cop, it's one of my favorite comedies of the '80s. But
I have one for Taylor.
Okay.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Aw.
versus Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Oh, come on, that's so easy. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Oh my
That movie over
What?
anything. That movie over anything.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, let's fight. How? Why?
Oh no, I would just pick anything Elvira over literally anything. That's why. But I do love Pee-wee.
Okay.
Didn't you interview Cassandra Peterson?
God, I got so close. To it, but it didn't work out. Maybe this October.
You could probably
But
get
I
that
don't-
done.
Better get that done.
I hope.
I'm trying to get an interview for Dieter Bastian that I'm getting close to getting.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Are you going to say who, or is it?
Please,
Nope.
Please.
Nope.
Please,
No, okay.
Please.
Nope.
Let's talk
Well,
about.
hopefully
Okay,
it works out.
All right. I'm trying to think of one that goes with this. And this is for Dieter. I'm trying to think of one.
I got one for Dieter.
Okay, well, I have
Pee-wee
one. No, wait,
2
hold on,
versus
hold on.
Elvira 2.
Oh, that's
Because they both suck, and we love both of the first ones.
yeah. Pee Wee 2 is
Like,
Big
Mistress
Top
of the
Pee
Dark
Wee is
isn't
so
great.
bad.
No. Pee-wee, Big Top Pee-wee.
Terrible.
No, but when you look at it again,
I never will.
Still can't get
there's so much cinematic inside shit in that movie.
And when you look at the Elvira 2 again, there's fucking Richard O'Brien in it. That should trump it all, but
No,
it's
it
still
doesn't.
not very good.
I'm trying to think. Okay.
Wow. Pete Dencat. I gotta throw this out there just because.
How about this, Rob?
Wait. Pete. Hang on. Pete Dencat goes "Sss" versus Tusk.
Wait, what's the first one?
Sss. If you know come on, if you're a child of the 70s, you know what
Is.
I know the poster. I don't think I've ever seen the movie.
No, but you knew exactly what it was. You know what I was saying.
Of course.
But
That-
a more fair one would have been frogs versus.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I just love somebody talked about.
Well, versus
But see, here's the thing: you can't really discuss.
Tusk is
That's
the better
too.
movie.
You've out clevered yourself. You've out clevered yourself. We can't have that conversation because
Okay.
it's too difficult.
How about this, Rob?
It's your game.
Ford
Remember,
Fairlane.
everybody, this is
It's my
Dave
game.
Parker's game. There can be only
There can be
one.
only one. The Adventures of Ford Fairlane versus Cutthroat Island.
Well, as Dieter Bastian knows, I saw a longer version. You know what though? That's a really good. I gotta say,
A longer version of what?
I saw a
Yeah.
longer version of The Adventures of Ford Fairlane. I saw a
didn't
test
even know
screening.
it
It was about a
existed.
half an hour longer. Yeah, and I'll tell you something. I think Silver Pictures did disservice to two movies that I would love. One was Predator 2,
And the other was
and the other was Adventures of Ford Fairlane. They cut those films down for time, and you had Stephen who directed Predator 2.
Stephen Hopkins.
Stephen Hopkins. I remember meeting him. I want to say I met him at Golden Apple Comics, and we had a really long conversation about Predator 2. And I asked him, I said, hey, man, and I've never met Rennie Harlan yet. But
Maybe on Wednesday at Brian's house?
no. No, but I think that I think that it would be very interesting to revisit the Adventures of Ford, because I love the Adventures of Ford Fairlane, and I think that the version that I saw was much longer and it was much better. And Stephen Hopkins told me that there's a much better version of Predator 2, but they cut it for time, and they were both kind of around the same era in the Silver Pictures pantheon or whatever. And it would be nice. I think they were capitulating to studio notes and things, and I think they would. Both of those movies would be very well served to go back and revisit them. Both, because I think Predator 2.
Fairlane since I was a kid. I remember liking it, but Cutthroat Island at least has a lot of amazing visuals. So that's
Yeah, I mean Cutthroat. And by the way, I talked to Frank Langella. I mean, obviously, when I was working in Superman 2, I talked to him a lot about Cutthroat Island. And he was the one that told me, he said, he was so proud of the work they did on Cutthroat Island. And when he saw the finished film, he goes, that's a fraction of what we made. And
Wow.
again, I think those movies were a product of the time. They were people like these movies. You can't have these movies being this long, so they were cut for time. And I think that all three of those movies, I mean, and by the way, Tombstone as well. We're finally getting Tombstone out, but Tombstone was a film that was obviously Kurt Russell famously might have directed half of it. And the longer version, which only existed on DVD, has amazing footage that's not on the 4K. But those are movies that it would be nice to go back and revisit them. But there's nobody to do it, unfortunately. I mean, how do you...
Even if there was, I wonder what kind of market there would exist to make it worthwhile. Like, is there a big enough market?
No, there isn't. And it's
Predator? Really? I think there's a market for a...
Well, there would. I mean, but the problem is, would Stephen Norrington go back in and you have to go back in and get all the negative and recut that stuff, and there's no...
Hopkins.
Pardon me. Stephen Norrington is different than Stephen Hopkins. But yes, Stephen Hopkins is like, I'm sorry, I apologize. It was a long coke-fueled night with Stephen. Oh, wait, what? Never mind. I don't know what you're saying. But no, but Stephen Hopkins, I think, would love to have gone back, and I think the marketplace would have accepted a longer Predator 2. But like you said, Spooky, they're just, how do you convince people that there's a market for this stuff? I want to see the air cut of Suicide Squad. I've never wanted to run out of a movie theater more in my entire life than when I was watching Suicide Squad, because it was cut by people that didn't know how to edit a movie. It was cut by a trailer company. And I looked at that film and I'm like, I've never seen it. That movie is an embarrassment on every level for Warner Brothers, and why you would not allow David Ayer. It was all people that were second guessing their bullshit. They were looking for their AT&T bonuses and all that bullshit. Terrible. Release the Ayer cut, motherfuckers. Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to pause this for a second. And sorry, Dave, just one sec. So this is specifically for Rob. You can get the extra 30 minutes of any movie in the history of movies. What one movie would you pick, even if it's the forbidden titles? One movie.
I'll allow it.
I think I know what your answer would be.
You know what? I'm going to bring it back home. 2001.
It's already 17 hours long. What are you talking about?
I want the extra 30 minutes
way.
of 2001 that was cut, that Kubrick cut from the film.
Wow.
I want 2001.
Over Purple Rain.
I think Purple Rain's amazing.
Of course
Love
you do.
it.
I know you do. That's what I'm saying. That's what I thought you would pick.
2000. Dave. Look, man, I've been sick for...
You a cigarette? Let's switch the question to Dave Parker real quick. Same question, Dave. What would you pick? Whether it exists or not on film, what movie would you want 30 more minutes of in the history of movies? Only one.
What do you mean whether it exists or not? So
meaning I could say I want 30 more minutes of Rocky Horror even if they didn't film it, but
okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we can hear you. This is difficult. 30, yeah, we can.
I can hear you. Yeah.
You gone deaf? 30 more minutes. I'll take 30 more minutes of Creep Show. Give me another story.
Ooh, that's interesting. I like that.
Yeah, give me.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. I think on that note, guys, I think we need to. Rob is muted. They say. Jesus. Oh, thank God! Finally, but hey, everyone, can you hear us though? You can't hear Rob, but you can hear us. You can hear us. You can't hear Rob. Really? Oh, thank God! Finally, Rob died. He's muted. Rob is muted. I guess.
I'm sorry I asked you that.
I guess this is it. I guess, guys. I guess this is it. We're calling it because Rob is muted and you can't hear him, and God knows, a Rob is wasted. We're done. You're done.
I can be Rob.
It's over, Rob. Oh. Oh, okay, guys. We're gonna. Show's over. Rob's muted. It's done. Thank you guys all for being here, hanging with us. It's 1:15 in the morning, Pacific Coast time. Way later in other parts of the world that might be watching. Rob will probably be back for his Let's Get Physical media.
Let's hope he makes it.
Rob will do sign language, and he'll do his naked shuffle for you in a little bit.
Oh man,
he's gonna show a little nip if you hold on. If you he'll show a little.
Dave, did you have any others that you had in the cards?
Oh, we'll do this game again.
Okay.
Remind everyone what the name of the game is.
Well, yeah, what's the name of the game?
Weird movie.
There can be only one. Dramatic pause.
Yeah, that was really fun. That was a fun game. Thank you for that.
You're so welcome. That's what I do. I just give. Give joy, give games and joy. And we had almost 200 people waiting to see Rob's nipples, and yet, I think that's how.
Oh, I know what Rob's trying to say right now. He's trying to say, send your scripts to him.
He's saying send more super chats.
He's saying send me your
Michael Thomas Harrison said we missed his last one. You want to close out one with a good one?
What is it, Michael Thomas Harris? I mean, someone
Full Metal Jacket versus Platoon.
Oh, Platoon. Platoon. Right, Rob?
I forgot we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Dave is superior. He has sound.
If you can't hear Rob, he's just saying swear words.
It's okay because you guys are used to it. You guys are used to Rob not saying anything and just like going like this. For 6 hours.
Rob said, send me your scripts.
Rob is not reading scripts currently because Rob has poor eyesight. He can't read scripts anymore. This is all it is. He can't. He's gone deaf. You can't hear him. It's over. It's over until he's there in the morning with Dieter. Maybe
we can do his out. Hey, listen to my radio drama.
And remember, everyone. Rob has a story. Rob has a story to tell that you cannot hear. Yeah. But please keep watching. Thank you all for watching. And remember, Rob has a story that you all want to hear, but you can't. And here we leave another Midnight Metal soundless. Oh, thanks. And remember to watch the Popeye the Slayer Man episode from a couple weeks ago. Don't forget. Don't forget to watch the Sarah Nicklin episode with Sean Decker from a couple weeks ago. Just watch that. This will not be the final episode of Midnight.